graduated, I went to NFL Films in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And as much as I loved that experience, I miss putting on the headsets. I decided, you know what, talk is cheap. I have a laptop that's in my house, and so 21 months later, here we are, still on YouTube, calling games and building an incredible, loving community on here with the people that I call my Philly freaks with a capital P and a capital H. We go live for every single Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles game, and we do it like old school radio play-by-play style. I'm Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ.
Showed swung on, barreled, and out to right field. Bye-bye baseball.
That baby is long gone.
What's going on, everybody? Hopefully you're all doing well and having yourselves a very fantastic day. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. We go on for Sixers basketball, Eagles football, and Phillies baseball as well. How you guys feeling today? What is going on? Gotta make sure that, of course, we ring that bell before we call the game tonight. So the 76ers, they are 30-23 on the season. They have a 15-13 record at home, and they are hosting the New York Knicks tonight. There is no Joel Embiid, still no Paul George either. But this is a game where, you know, you want to go on into the All-Star break, and you really want to feel good about just getting rest, but you want to end the first half on a positive note. And if they can take care of business tonight without Joel Embiid, I think that that's a really good thing that can really help out the locker room. It can certainly help out the rest of the team because you want to feel confident. You just want to go out there tonight and you want to have a little bit of swagger and just go out there and try to dominate against this New York Knicks team because they've been playing a lot better basketball lately for sure, but you want to just kill that momentum. And I would love Tyrese Maxey to just ball out against Jalen Brunson tonight. So, yes, the Philadelphia 76ers playing in game number 54 of the NBA season. Tip-off should be coming up in just a little bit. I do want to hear what your final score predictions are down below, and I do also want to hear more about who your standout players are for tonight's game as well. The next thing that I really just wanted to elaborate on is what happened in the last game for the Philadelphia 76ers was absolutely abysmal. They got destroyed by the Portland Trail Blazers, and it was just so disgusting to watch. They were not rebounding the ball well. They just did not play good, cohesive basketball together. They were making turnovers left and right. They got so many points hammered onto them in the third quarter. They gave up a lot of wide-open threes they could not close out. And it was just not good basketball at all. And I really think that tonight, specifically what I'm looking for when I'm watching this first half here, is how much energy are they going to have out of the gates tonight? Will they be able to start things off on a run and get off on the right foot, do well out in transition, make a statement, get rebounds, box guys out, and just start things off with a bang? Because tonight, for some reason, I just have a gut feeling that if the Sixers start off cold, it's going to be really tough for them to win this game. That's just what my mind is telling me. You really want to feel good going out there against this type of opponent, okay? And also, by the way, it would just be really nice to actually win a regular season series against the New York Knicks. You won your first two games, and then you lost your last game. Do not let them tie the season series. I understand that if both teams were tied, which doesn't really... Actually, it could still be likely because right now the Knicks are 34-20 and the Sixers are 30-23. Winning tonight's game just from that perspective too, I think would be a huge, huge win. What else was I going to say? Karl-Anthony Towns. Okay, Karl-Anthony Towns. Let's talk a little bit about Cat because Cat has been playing He's been okay. He did have 5 turnovers in his last game against the Indiana Pacers, and they ended up losing in overtime. But he does seem to be playing a little bit better. 22 points and 14 rebounds in his last game. He's been having these double-doubles almost every single night. What feels like he's been a rebounding machine for them. Andre Drummond versus Karl-Anthony Towns will be a very interesting matchup, in my opinion. Can Andre Drummond out-rebound Karl-Anthony Towns? I think that the answer to that question is yes. I think Andre Drummond personally is just better at boxing out. He's also a little bit more athletic and has a better, I would say that he has a better IQ when it comes to rebounding the ball. He just has a gut feeling as to where the ball is going to go. And not saying that Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't, but I trust Andre Drummond more than I do Karl-Anthony Towns when it comes to rebounding the basketball. And that's really how I feel. VJ Edgecombe. Boy, would it be nice if the Philadelphia 76ers had their Robin tonight step up in VJ Edgecombe. You're gonna need more support too. Oubre is gonna have to step up, and other supporting members as well. We will probably see Kyle Lowry tonight. But the bottom line, chat, the bottom line is you want to go into the All-Star break with a W, because that can really help boost the morale. And I think that they can do that tonight. Guys should be playing with a chip on their shoulder because there is no Joel and there still is no Paul George. You should think that that should just energize them. And I think it will. They're also playing at home, which is really nice. I don't know how the Knicks are going to do guarding Tyrese Maxey. I'm sure that they're going to throw a lot of bodies his way. And that's why it's also very important that VJ Edgecombe does step up. But how does Tyrese Maxey provide the counterpunch? What can Nick Nurse do to help Tyrese Maxey get out of double teams and for him to just attack? That's something that I'm going to be asking in regards to tonight's game. And I think it's a very good question. Because they're going to try to erase Tyrese Maxey. Obviously. They're going to blitz him. They're going to send guys at him and throw the kitchen sink at him. What is the response going to be? And how will Nick Nurse do at adjusting? The one thing that I don't like is without Joel Embiid there. Joel Embiid, we don't talk about it enough as a fan base, but that guy sets a lot of picks. He's a very good screener. And it makes Tyrese Maxey's life a lot easier when you have a center out there that's just willing to sacrifice his body and be willing to help get you a wide open shot. And that's what Joel Embiid also does too. That doesn't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. And in some ways, that's pretty much an assist as well. Will we see a lot of screens from Andre tonight? What types of play are we going to see from Adem Bona? How are those two going to get those minutes managed? And how will they do against Mitchell Robinson and Karl-Anthony Towns when the Knicks decide to go big? Great questions. And I can't wait to find them out in just a little bit. Let's get to chat. Let's talk about the chat. Let's see how you guys are doing tonight. Before I do that, though, of course, I got to update the scoreboards. I'm doing that right now as we speak. But hello to everybody tuning on in. Let us know where you guys are tuning on in from, who you guys are rooting for in tonight's game. Are you rooting for the Sixers? Are you rooting for the Knicks? Let us know down below. Okay. And with that, let's get to everybody's comments. Yes, we got Daniel here in the chat. Houston, Texas Dave says, time for some Philly b-ball, that's for sure. Big shout out to you guys. Ring that bell. 76ers win 96-94, says Houston, Texas Dave. And Shantae is also here as well. Woo! Got to get that little air horn going. You know how it is. Y'all know how it is. Okay, so let's get this scoreboard up and running. Got to squint the eyes a little bit. And that is the right one. And this one, same thing as well. Any outliers for tonight's game? Anything that you think is going to happen that is out of the ordinary for the 76ers, or even just in this game in particular? As again, I have to squint my eyes. Because in my opinion, what is going to happen in tonight's game, I just, I'm going to say this. I will say this. I don't know if this is really an outlier. I'm going to say that VJ Edgecombe gets a double-double. I will. Is that an outlier, though? Is that something that a lot of people would not expect? I guess when you really think about it, because Joel's not playing and when Paul George isn't playing, you just figure that he's going to get more chances and more opportunities to rebound. Same thing with getting assists and that type of stuff. So maybe that's not as crazy of a hot take as people, I guess, would think. But that is something that I'm going to say is sort of my hot take, my little outlier for tonight's game. Yes, and we'll get on into the starting lineups. We'll do that really quickly. Where is it? I'm still trying to find the right one. Is that it? I think that's it. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. All right, so starting lineups for tonight. Jalen Brunson is the starting point guard for the New York Knicks. Then you got Landry Shamet at the 2, Josh Hart at the 3, Mikal Bridges at the 4, and Karl-Anthony Towns at the 5 for the New York Knicks, who are in their white, blue, and orange uniforms. Sixers, of course, are in their throwback black and white uniforms. Sixers have Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, Kelly Oubre Jr., Dominic Barlow, and Adem Bona as the starting 5 for tonight's game. And so here we go. Tip-off underway. Towns going up against Adem Bona, and Adem Bona wins the battle off the tip-off. And so the Sixers will have the ball first as they move from right to left. Here's VJ Edgecombe with a handoff to Adem Bona. And another handoff to Tyrese Maxey this time, who drives it right towards the cup. Can't finish it. Bona offensive rebound right through traffic. Puts it up and in. He had about 3 defenders on him, too. The way that he just grabbed up that rebound, gobbled it up, and just was able to put it back up and in. Pretty impressive play by Adem Bona. That's what you're going to need a lot in tonight's game. That's what you call great effort. All right, so Bridges on the drive over to the basket, stops on a dime, puts up a jump shot, and connects from the mid-range. Dallas is here. What's up, Dallas? How you doing? What'd you eat for dinner tonight? What was on the menu? Tyrese Maxey again at the top of the key. Steps back, launches a 3. Way too much mustard on that one. And former Sixer from Wichita State, Landry Shamet, is able to get the rebound and corral it for the New York Knicks. Josh Hart with a nice bounce pass to Mikal Bridges, cutting over to the rim. Bridges says, nice pass there. And the binoculars certainly worked from Josh Hart. 4-2, New York. The Knicks again, 34-20. The Sixers, 30-23. Here's Edgecombe on a baseline jump shot. He turned around and was able to spin and hit it. And it's now a 4-4 game. Edgecombe nearly came away with a steal. Towns with a behind-the-back bounce pass to Jalen Brunson, who went right down Broadway and was able to lay it up and in. Flashy plays by the New York Knicks with their offense in this game on back-to-back possessions. And the Sixers have got to do a better job at getting bodies down low in the paint. Oubre just misfired a 3 from the near corner. Barlow couldn't catch the rebound. It was Josh Hart. And here comes Karl-Anthony Towns with a Euro step. He makes the 2, and he's fouled. He got hit right in the eye. Uh-oh. And he is hunched on over. grabbing onto that right eye with the Band-Aid tape that's right over there on the eyebrow. And, he got poked in the eye by VJ Edgecombe. And so an and one opportunity is going to come on up. That was a Dembona, excuse me, who fouled him. Who else is here? We got Scott here. Whoops, that is not what I meant to say, but my goodness. What is up, my friend? Hopefully you're doing well. Happy to see you on here, brother. Very, very happy to see you. Yes. All right, so we'll change the scoreboard in just a little bit. We'll get that up and running. Towns with the end one. Got it. It's a 9-4 start for the New York Knicks. Sixers have given up a lot of points in the paint. They've been stacking bodies on the perimeter, and just their paint presence has been erased so far in this game. Edgecombe got the ball knocked loose by Bridges, stolen by Towns, outlet pass to Landry Shamet, who puts up a layup and gets it to go on the left side of the baseline, and that'll increase New York's lead to 11-4. So the Knicks are coming out, firing out of the gates. That's what we didn't want to happen for the Sixers. Maxey did get the ball knocked loose, and Landry Shamet caused that to go out of bounds, ricocheted off of Maxey's right knee, and therefore it's Knicks basketball. As Brunson increases the tempo, Brunson back to Towns, and a three-pointer from Mikal Bridges on the near corner. That one won't go. Offensive rebound by Towns. He tips it out to Brunson. The pass back to Bridges, wide open three, and it's a 10-point lead for the New York Knicks. So the Sixers are 2 for 6 from the field, and the Knicks are 4 for 6 so far. Towns just blocked the layup on the other side, and New York again has the ball. Maxey deflects it, and it nearly was stolen. Josh Hart got it back, and they give it back to Jalen Brunson, and a shot was waved off as there was a foul called on Oubre. Shamet would have made that wide open three, but Oubre had a personal foul called on him. Clock stops with 8:50 to go here in quarter number one. The Sixers just not off to a good start. Mikal Bridges, 7 points. He's 3 for 4 from the field already in this game so far. Here's Josh Hart, who gets the inbound pass. He'll just dump it down to Bridges, and again, nobody was guarding him. And so it's 16-4 as he just dunked it on home. And so the Knicks have only missed one field goal, and the Sixers are just going to have Nick Nurse call a timeout already, and rightfully so. 8:32 left in the first quarter as they are cold out of the gates. Okay, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. what's going on, everybody? Hopefully you're all, again, doing well and having yourselves a very fantastic day so far. My name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. If this is your first time on here, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and hit that subscribe button as well. And turn on the notification bell icons too, folks. And that way you will know when we do go live for 76ers basketball. Ay. Did they really have to just do that? I mean, come on. Come on, man. I just spent all break just readjusting this. And now I got to do it again? Come on. What else do we have going on in the chat? JJ, I have strawberry shortcake. Strawberry shortcake. Wow. Ooh. How is it? You got to let me know. On a scale of 1 to 5. 5 being great, 1 being not so great. What is the rating? Let me know down below. Dude, that is hilarious. All right, so the 76ers, well, I'll tell you what, on the scale of 1 through 5 of how their performance has been so far, it's been, I would argue that some people would say it's probably under a 1. Some people might go down to a 0 with how the game has gone right now. Sixers are down 16-4. They've given up already 7 field goals on 8 attempts against the New York Knicks from the defensive side. Tyrese Maxey looks to cross over against Jalen Brunson. There's a skip pass that goes to Oubre as he marches down the lane, goes up with a floater inside, and Mikal Bridges thought that he got all ball. Referees say otherwise and fouled him in the act of shooting. And so free throws will be underway in just a few moments for Kelly Oubre Jr. Call him K9. Some of our members do on here. All right. Snowman's also here. What's going on, Snow? This is not a good start already. Time for Nick Nurse to hit the road. Jax is Dexter Davis. First free throw by Oubre. We'll get it to knock down. As we mentioned before, the 76ers won their first 2 games of the regular season series against the New York Knicks. This is their final game that they've played. And so, second foul shot by Oubre, can't get it to go, and it's rebounded by the Knicks. They've been very active on the glass so far. Last game the Sixers did play against the Knicks, it was game 3 of the regular season series, and the Sixers did lose 112-109. It was on January 24th. And so, here's a drive inside by Jalen Brunson, and the ball's going to go out of bounds. Last touch by the Philadelphia 76ers towards the Knicks baseline. And they'll have to inbound it with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. 8:02 to go in quarter number 1. Towns gets it from the inbound pass by Jalen Brunson on the left side of the baseline. And Towns tries to drive it inside. Edgecombe gets his rebound off the missed layup. Edgecombe runs down the lane, kicks it out to a wide open 3 from Barlow, and he gets it to go. And that'll cut the deficit in half. So the Sixers have scored 4 points out of the gates from the timeout, speaking-wise. And Landry Shamet now has it again for the New York Knicks. He's been shooting the ball very well. Bona decided to go with a gamble there and nearly came away with a steal from Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns finds a wide-open Landry Shamet for 3, and Oubre is going to catch his miss. Sixers have Maxey, and they'll give it back over to Oubre as he runs down the lane again. Josh Hart sticks his hand in the cookie jar. Here's a 2-on-1 as Mikal Bridges lays it up and lays it on in right past Tyrese Maxey. So great defense leading the easy offense for the New York Knicks, and that'll give the Knicks once again a 10-point lead. 10 seconds left on the shot clock again. Edgecombe off the dribble for 3. No. Offensive board by Bona. He missed the second try. They kick it out to Oubre, his 3-pointer, and that's no good either. Kelly Oubre did fall. No foul was called. I don't know how Bona missed the second opportunity. All he had to do was just lay it up in him with nobody on him, and he missed a wide-open bunny there. 10 seconds left on the shot clock for the Knicks again. Bridges with a 2. That goes in and out. Towns offensive board, and he's able to just take his way back over to the cup, and he makes the layup to make it 20-8. Tyrese Maxey again fighting through a lot of contact. No whistle called. He lays it up and in, and that'll cut the deficit in half once again. Sixers, when they have been making their field goals, they've made some very tough ones. The only one that looked wide open was Dominic Barlow's 3. Towns on the pick and roll again, lays it up and on in, 22-10. A lot of pick and roll offense from this New York Knicks team, and the 76ers just cannot do anything to guard the pick and roll. Edgecombe slicing and dicing towards the rim. Right-handed hook shot, no. And Towns is going to get fouled. It's a loose ball foul called on a Dembona. So the matchup down low in the paint has certainly gone Karl-Anthony Towns' way. This is just barbecue chicken for him so far, as they would say. He's made it look so easy against the Dembona, and hopefully Bona can step on up. 22-10, 5:41 to go in the first quarter. Towns is actually going to take a quick seat here, so maybe the 76ers can try to attack as he's on the bench. He has 7 points and also has done a very good job rebounding the ball. He has 4. Mitchell Robinson is out there, though, and Andre Drummond is going to step on in for the 76ers. Trendon Watford also comes in, and so does Justin Edwards. No VJ Edgecombe right now. He's on the bench, and there's a runner that's good to make it now 24-10. Mohamed Diawara will enter on in as well for Josh Hart, and Jordan Clarkson gets his first appearance of the game for Karl-Anthony Towns. The clock will stop with 5:09 left to go in the first quarter. The Sixers have only put up 10 points in their first 7 minutes of play. It was Mitchell Robinson who made the layup right as soon as he came on in. Jalen Brunson made a nice pass to him. And so that's how it became 24-10. Sixers just got an inbound pass, and it went to Trendon Watford, who just laid it up and in with the right hand right down the center of the lane. And that'll make it 24-10. Brunson gets a three-point shot off, and Andre Drummond volleyballs his miss, and it goes into the hands of Tyrese Maxey. Drummond with a screen, Maxey with a floater, tough adversity, and he gets pushed and shoved to the ground in the act of shooting, and he's going to go to the line for 2 foul shots. Just trying to buzz his way past the trees, dealing with a lot of contact down low, and Maxey stands on up, shakes it off, and heads back to the line. Maxey has a black sleeve on his left arm. And he takes 3 dribbles here. And the first free throw by Tyrese, nothing but nets. Sixers with a baker's dozen. They've allowed 2 dozen points, though. It's a 4 strawberry cake. Ooh. Sounds really good. Oh, it was a 4. It was a 4 out of 5. It was a 4 out of 5. I got you. All right, Maxey's second free throw, and that one is good.
Excellent.
Congratulations to Maxey, of course, being named an All-Star. I mean, that's old news, JJ. I know it is, but still. Congratulations to him. Here's a wide-open 3, though. That's up and good by Mohamed Diawara from 23 feet. Bridges got the assist. Sixers will capitalize, though, on the other side, and they will get a 2. That's Justin Edwards, cleans up the glass and finishes right off of his own miss. 4:05 left in this first quarter. The Sixers have given up a lot of points on these possessions to the New York Knicks. Another 3 by Jordan Clarkson. That time the basketball god said no. Watford hands it off to Maxey. Maxey's going to go to work. He spins down the lane. He pivots about a couple of times and gives it back to Watford. His line drive 3, way too short. He bricked it off the front iron, and Jalen Brunson right there at the foul line to catch his miss. The double team comes, and the Knicks are going to throw it away. The intended receiver was supposed to be Jordan Clarkson. It was a skip pass over to Clarkson down low in the paint, and it goes out of bounds over towards the near baseline. This team has no rhyme or no rhythm. Okay. This team has no rhyme or reason to it regardless who's in the game. Nurse is trash is 2:15 Philly. What's going on, man? Maybe they don't have any rhythm either. Justin Edwards for 3 for the 76ers. He certainly had the look, just couldn't cash it on in. It was a near wing 3. And the Knicks looking to attack again on the other side. Knicks are 2 for 6 from downtown. No need to hit a 3 there as Mikal Bridges got right to his sweet spot on the baseline and just made the jump shot from about 10 feet or so. 29-16. And the Sixers trail by 13 points. Maxey getting past the trees again, slicing and dicing towards the lane, and lays it up and on in with the underhanded scoop. Give Tyrese Maxey 4 points, 1 for 4 he is from the field, and so also 1 assist as well for number 0. Bridges looking to pass it around the timeline. Gives it over to Diawara, and the ball gets knocked loose by Trendon Watford. Excellent defense on him on the ball. Edwards back to Watford, and he lost control of the basketball thanks to Diawara's defense, and that's going to go off of Trendon Watford's left knee. 2:35 left to go in the first quarter. The Knicks are going to burn their first timeout. So Mike Brown wants to talk things over with his ball club. Sixers, again, just behind the 8 ball, 29-18 out in Philadelphia. It's the Sixers and the refs versus the Knicks, says Vasuk. What's going on, Vasuk? Again, folks, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and turn on the notification bell icon. I will tell you this, the 76ers just are getting beaten up on the pick and roll. It just feels like that they are out of rhythm, they're out of sync, and they are just getting outmatched. Got to call a spade. They look like a G League team out there. Dembona was just getting his lunch money stolen from Karl-Anthony Towns, and Towns is just knocking him around. Like whenever he was out there for about the first 5 minutes, Karl-Anthony Towns was just absolutely bullying Dembona. And so that certainly helped the New York Knicks. Their passing was crisp. Their transition offense was great. And the 76ers are just not doing anything right. And the reason why is just because they're just so slow. And they're not athletic, and they're not able to stay on top of these New York Knicks players. They're just not as athletic right now without Paul George. And, of course, they're missing Joel Embiid, too, so that's definitely a big difference maker. I'm not trying to make excuses, though, but what I am saying is that they don't really have as much depth now, and you can definitely see that there's fatigue settling on in. And there's no reason for the 76ers to be getting blown out like this. It actually feels like that they should be down by 18 points, but they're down by 11. 29-18, though, and the Sixers can certainly bounce back. How's everybody feeling, though, tonight? Let us know what you guys are doing this weekend. Not going to be a lot of streaming this weekend, that's for sure. But, again, appreciate each and every one of you for being on here, taking time out of your days to support the young content creators out there, for sure. Yeah, guys are absolutely awesome. I made a post earlier today over on my YouTube page. You should definitely go check it out. If you didn't see it, I did mention in the post that I did invest in a desktop, a custom-made desktop, and this year I'm really trying to go all out with this, and trying to give it everything that I got. So for baseball, it's going to be a busy year for baseball. And the work is going to start. Hard to believe, but the work is going to get started in about 2 weeks or so. It's going to be absolutely nuts with baseball season right around the corner. But yes, for those of you that have been supporting the channel for these last 3 years, I have so much gratitude and so much thanks that I, of course, want to give to each and every one of you. You guys have really been here through the thick and thin, and I hope that I will not let you guys down. And just continue to work hard. 29-18 is the score. There's 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. Jose Alvarado for the New York Knicks, who faced the 76ers not too long ago, just got traded to the New York Knicks. Tyrese Maxey, who just knocked the ball away, got the steal, and then a foul was called on Jose Alvarado. So that's what the stoppage in play was. 27 more subs, by the way, till we get to the 8,300 marker. If you guys want to become members, it's $2.99 a month. You can become a member today by clicking on the link in the live chat. Tyrese Maxey driving it towards the lane, kissing it off the backboard with the layup, and it's good for Philadelphia. Brunson, wide open three-pointer off the dribble in the face of Tyrese Maxey, and that'll silence the crowd. Just when the 76ers tried to get a little bit of pizzazz in their game, Jalen Brunson's able to silence them, and 76ers are hoping for a response here. 1:40 left in the first quarter. Maxey again wants to ISO, this time off of Jalen Brunson. He takes a three, and he gets some redemption himself. Able to capitalize off the dribble, and Tyrese Maxey got him right on one step. And it was good defense, just better offense. Here's Edwards with an interception. Sixers have numbers. Edwards to Edgecombe for three on the near quarter. No. Drummond tries to tip it back up and in. He can't do so either. And unfortunately, Watford is going to tip it into the hands of Josh Hart. Hart to Alvarado, a catch-and-shoot trifecta. That's a little bit off, and Drummond comes up with his miss, but he throws it away, and Alvarado gets the steal, and a far wing three is up. Way too strong. Sixers definitely dodged the bullet there. Robinson got the offensive board, and Watford's going to foul him right on the baseline. He took about 3 steps or so, and Watford and Alvarado getting into it a little bit. They have to be separated. There's some trash talking going on, and as Drummond tried to separate Watford, well, now VJ Edgecombe is in there, and here comes Nick Nurse out there. Alvarado had to be separated by one of the officials. 55.1 seconds left to go. Mike Brown also getting involved with it, and so now the tensions have sort of cooled down maybe just a little bit. And so you can still see them chirping a little bit with each other. Watford is over to the left side of Alvarado, and they say, no, we're good. So Watford did get called for a shooting foul, but obviously this is going to take a little bit of time for the refs to figure out what the verdict is going to be on what just happened between the words of exchange between Alvarado and Trendon Watford. I don't think that when Robinson went down over towards that baseline, he didn't necessarily like that Watford fouled him right there and hit him right in the head. And then they were just showing the replay, and they stopped it right when about the play was over. Alvarado came right on over to Trendon Watford, and I don't know, it looked like Jalen Brunson again was trying to break up this little exchange, and Andre Drummond got a hand in there too, and then Edgecombe and Maxey were like, all right, guys, let's try to separate this here. Okay. It's still a 32-23 game with 55.1 seconds to go. This is obviously going to be an official review, and we'll get to the verdict in just a little bit. But this is, again, Stephen A. Smith and ESPN were talking about this a little bit earlier, how, bringing back these types of rivalries and, not saying that guys should fight each other, but just that little adversity, that little arguing, the bickering back and forth, that's what really makes sports fun to watch, and you like it when sometimes guys just aren't necessarily buddy with each other and getting in their faces and showing more emotion, showing raw emotion, and just getting into the heat of things. It's definitely good for the sport. All right, so that's what the stoppage and play is all about. Referees are still over at the replay scores table. 55.1 seconds left to go here in quarter number 1. Maxey has scored half of the 76ers points. He has 11 in this game so far, and there's also 4 for 7 shooting-wise in this game. Only has 1 assist. The Sixers as a team are just shooting the ball 22% from downtown and 38% from the field. And that's been the main difference. The Knicks have made 14 out of 23 of their field goals, which is good enough for a 61% from the field. Okay, so each player, Alvarado and Watford, did get issued with a double tech. So those offside each other, and Watford, of course, got called for the foul, and so free throws are going to come on up for Mitchell Robinson. Oh, man. Why isn't Oubre in? Can't answer that question. I'm tired of Legler. Used to be cut like that. Now he's We can keep it a little bit more PG. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to like, or you don't have to agree with someone's commentary, but we ain't gonna call them names like that. Just keep it clean. That's it. But I hear you though. All right, so here is Robinson at the line. Take one dribble, first free throw, clanks it off the backside of the rim, and he catches the rebound off of his first free throw miss. I think Tim Legler as an analyst is really good when he's on talk shows, and he seems like he has a lot of knowledge on the game, and he's very good at talking about strategy and talking about his analytics, and I think he does an awesome job from that perspective. But I don't know about this game as a broadcaster. I can't say anything. Foul shot number 2. That's up and good. 33-23, 41 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And so here's a pass from Maxey that goes on over to Trendon Watford. And Watford gets his shot blocked by Mitchell Robinson. Then the ball will go on out of bounds. 33-23 again. The Knicks are up by 10 points. Bona has 3 rebounds. Brunson has 3 rebounds. But what's funny is that they have a lot of guys with 3 rebounds in this game. Maxey with a 3. That one's way off. And Jose Alvarado catches the rebound at the Sixers' top of the key. Again, great ball movement by the New York Knicks. Hart on the near wing at the three-point line. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. 20 left on the game clock. A wide-open 3 by Josh Hart, and he just cans it from straight on. And the New York Knicks are back up by 13 points. They've outscored the Sixers 36-23. 8 seconds left in this first quarter. The shot clock's unplugged. Watford in between the circles bounces it over to Tyrese Maxey. It's actually handed off over to Justin Edwards first. And then Tyrese Maxey just misfired a spin around, turnaround jumper, and that'll end the first quarter. We're going to go into quarter number 2. The Philadelphia 76ers did not have a good first quarter at all, but we'll see if they can right the ship in quarter number 2 when we do come back. Folks, 36-23 is the score. The New York Knicks lead it by 13 points against the 76ers. And so, we're about ready to head on into quarter number 2. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and turn on the bell icons as well. Andrew is here. Andrew, you never told me how basketball season went. Did you ever make it from your tryouts, man? I keep asking you, and I never heard. I never heard about anything about the basketball season or anything. I'm just curious. You don't have to answer, but I'm just thinking about you, man. What's going on, though, brother? JJ, did you hear the Phillies tell Nick Castellanos not to come to spring training? That's pretty messed up. Look, they were going to try to trade him during the offseason, so it's really not a surprise to me that they're trying to do that right now. I'm not the biggest fan of Nick Castellanos when it comes to how he played as a Philly here. I was really happy when the Philadelphia Phillies went out to go sign him. That was the same year that they got Kyle Schwarber in free agency, and I thought that it was great that they got the both of them, and we expected the both of them to rake. But Nick Castellanos just has not lived up to expectations, and he just has not played good baseball. So the Phillies were obviously going to try to shop him, but it's I hear you though with your point. Here we go, 36-23. Here's a wide-open three by the New York Knicks, and that one is up, and that one is good to make it 39-23. It's now a 16-point lead. The Knicks are just making a lot of shots. That's their fifth three that they've knocked down today on 11 tries. Here's Oubre with a runner inside, and he gets fouled by the New York Knicks. Shamet did take an elbow right over towards the left side of the stomach area. He's hunched on over. 11:25 left to go here in the second quarter. And Oubre is going to head to the line. The foul, by the way, was on Karl-Anthony Towns. I don't necessarily know how Shamet got banged up a little bit there. But here's Oubre at the line. Foul shot number one by Kelly. That one clanks off the front of the rim and dances out towards the left side. And misses the first free throw. No, I never made the team, but that's all right. I'll try again next year, says Andrew. That's the spirit, my friend. And just know this, my friend. We love you, man, and we support you. And we're rooting for you. You know what I'm saying? 39-24, foul shot number two by Kelly Oubre. That one was good, too.
Excellent.
Shamming over to Karl-Anthony Towns, and Towns just got Dominic Barlow to beat him, and they'll call it a personal foul. And the Sixers are actually going to challenge this. They think that Barlow did get all ball, and Nurse just puts his hands up, saying, well, why not challenge it? And so we'll see what the verdict is once they come on back from the break. I'm a season ticket holder for the Phillies. I paid my bill for the All-Star game. They required us to pay for all 4 days of the celebration and the game combined $1,002 a person. Doesn't surprise me. It does not surprise me. And where are your seats? Like, that's just getting to the game, right? Like, that obviously doesn't include parking, doesn't include any of the fees. Like, it also depends on like where the seats are too, but I'm sure that's not even like, being in the first, in the first section. It's crazy. I appreciate it, JJ. I always have fun in here. You do really good live streams. Well, I appreciate you, man. I really do, and I always have a smile on my face, especially when I see you. I know I say that for I say that for a couple of people, but you know what? That's just like what you guys really bring me. You guys bring me so much joy, even when I don't express it with my face. I do feel that in my heart, and I am just very grateful. I'm beyond grateful for you guys, and I said it before, I'll say it again. I want to continue to make you guys proud. And I think that we can do that. So, all right. Did they come up with the verdict yet, JJ? No, they did not. They are not back from the break. So Sixers, the question is, will they win this challenge or not? And if they do, I didn't necessarily see who got the ball afterwards, but we'll have to just wait and look at the replay there. Speaking of 76ers, I just got an update that D'Anthony Melton is expected to play tonight for the Golden State Warriors. What does that have to do with the 76ers? Well, technically speaking, D'Anthony Melton was a former 76er. And so, shout out to D'Anthony Melton. We could actually use D'Anthony Melton right now. We really could. Just from guard depth, we could certainly use him. Who would have thought that we would actually say that? But that's what happens when you get rid of Jared McKean, and now you have to rely more on Kyle Lowry. We haven't even seen Kyle Lowry at all in this game so far. You ready for baseball, JJ? Am I ready for baseball? I'm getting there. I am getting there. I'll tell you this. I'll break it down to you this way. I will be ready. And I think that getting this PC and getting my equipment that I've received, I think that is sort of getting me more ready for baseball. All right. I do feel that way. Okay, so the 76ers are going to win their challenge, and Trendon Watford will inbound it over to Dominic Barlow. So that is good for the 76ers. They do have a lot of successful challenges that they've been able to convert this year. Edgecombe gets it at the top of the key. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Takes it over to the foul line extended. Turns around, spins, puts up a foul line J and got it to go right in the face of Landry Shamet. The difficulty of that shot was pretty high. I mean, that was just great defense, but he had the fuego right next to his name and the green on that release. 39-26. Philadelphia trails by 13. 10:30 left in the second quarter. Towns with a little hesitation and a pass back to Josh Hart. And now Towns in the corner. Baseline J. And he got it off, but it was just a not good shot there. Sixers get it, and they'll turn it on over. Drummond made a bad pass, and so Alvarado's three-pointer wide open from the near corner is good. Sixers cannot close out. And so they left him wide open. Andre Drummond threw the ball away on that last possession, and it was stolen by Karl-Anthony Towns. Here's Watford again as he tries to come up with his own miss. And Watford, as he got it, Towns just got a piece of the basketball as he reached on in, but they didn't call a foul. And it's regarded as a steal for the New York Knicks. Another wide open three by Alvarado. That's up, and that is good. Jose Alvarado, he just does a very good job shooting the ball from three if you give him a lot of space. It's 45-26. Philadelphia, the deficit is now up to 19 points. Watford with a nice little bounce to Andre Drummond. And Drummond with the feed. He throws it down. Nice play there by Andre Drummond. He was looking to shake and bake that rim with both hands. 9:05 to go here in quarter number 2. Hart on the drive to the basket. Tries to lay it up and in. Too strong. Sixers, here they come. Barlow with a little hesitation pass to Trendon Watford down the lane. His layup is up, and that's good. And that'll make it 45-30. Sixers doing a good job on the defensive side on that possession. And their offense was really awesome as well. Here's Towns again, over down low on the block. Gets right on past Dominic Barlow and is able to posterize Andre Drummond. And the dunk is good. It's now 47-30. VJ Edgecombe penetrates on offense. A turnaround jumper over Towns. Great defense by Karl-Anthony Towns. A pass to Alvarado. Sixers again slow on defense. Towns for three at the top of the key. Got it to go. 50-30. 8 minutes and 13 seconds left to go, and the Sixers are going to call a timeout. They're now down by 20 points. They've been outscored in quarter number 2, 14-7, and Karl-Anthony Towns has been an absolute monster in this first half for the New York Knicks, and the Sixers just cannot solve them tonight. He's hitting the threes. He's getting the rebounds. He's attacking in the paint and getting to everywhere that he wants to go. And that's not good. All-Star Game seats are section 146, row 4, seat 1. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh, wow. That's actually pretty good when you think about it. I actually would have thought, I mean, like, it's pricey anyway that you look at it, but you said that it was for 4 days, right? Like, that you get access to all 4 days. I'm a season ticket holder for the Phillies. I paid my bill for the All-Star Game. They required us to pay for all 4 days of the celebrations and games combined, $1,002 a person. That's not per day, though, right? Like, that's just for the whole thing? I hope I asked that correctly. Man. Oh, man. Gosh, this is bad. This is getting ugly, guys. I needed the 76ers to go out there tonight and just get off on the right note, and that's not what they did. They just look like that they're... You know what it is? The analogy tonight that I will say with how things have looked so far is that the New York Knicks in this game, they look like that they're just, I don't know, what's the best way to put it? They just look like that they're just tearing this team apart. I can't necessarily think of like a really good analogy, and I usually am pretty good at that stuff, but the 76ers just are like the small kid, and the New York Knicks are like the big, like, bad, bulky, jock type of a guy that's just, punching them in the teeth, Meet and greet, All-Star Game, home run derby, and something else I do not remember. Wow, that's actually not bad. That is like, I don't think that that's a bad deal. Because it's like an all-in-one inclusive type of a thing, But again, that's also for season ticket holders. Like, I can't even imagine if it's for other people, then that's like, it's still a lot of money, but it is. Anyway, you look at it. 8:07 left in the second quarter. Philadelphia down 50-30. After this, it's going to be the All-Star break. And the 76ers, when's their next game? When will they be back? Great question, chat. The next game that they play is on February 19th. They're off for 8 days. They play against the Atlanta Hawks on Thursday. They actually have 3 games in 4 days when they do come back. They play the Hawks at home on Thursday the 19th. And then on Saturday the 21st, they have a traveling back-to-back. The first game of a traveling back-to-back. They stop in New Orleans first, and then they play the Minnesota Timberwolves. So they've got a busy schedule ahead. Edgecombe gets it down low on the block and puts up a floater inside. Got it to go. Right-handed floater is up and good by VJ Edgecombe. It would be really nice to see him try to score a little bit more and attack for the 76ers. No Deuce McBride tonight, and no OG Anunoby either for the New York Knicks. Bridges on a drive to the basket. Alley-oop finish by Mitchell Robinson, who just slams it on home and makes it 52-32. The pick and roll has just been the bread and butter of this game for the New York Knicks, and the 76ers are just hypnotized by it and just can't do anything to stop it. Oubre gets the ball blocked. It was his jump shot that got blocked and rejected by the New York Knicks. Again, here's Shemet. And Sixers got to play scramble as Karl-Anthony Towns drives it right over to the cup. And the Sixers are just continuing to get punched right on into the mouth. 54-32. Karl-Anthony Towns just making a statement. And looks like that the Knicks are going to get the ball back because the Sixers, they must have turned it over. They didn't show it on the replay. A drive by Robinson and a cut to the basket. It's up and good. Yeah, Bona lost the ball on the turnover, and so that's how the Knicks were able to get 4 points in just a matter of 20 seconds. 6:45 left to go here in quarter number 2. It's a 24-point lead for the Knicks. Edgecombe again has defenders on him, has to pass it around to Barlow. Oubre's 3 with the shot clock winding down. He got a good look there, and Jose Alvarado's going to corral his miss. Alvarado on the far wing, dribbles over towards the logo, conducts the traffic, tells Towns to step up. Towns guarded by Bona on the perimeter, a couple of jab steps, dribbles with the right hand, and another three-pointer that's up and good by Jose Alvarado. He is just heating up, and he is on fire right now. Well, it's a 59-32 game. Sixers, again, just cannot stop Alvarado. And he didn't even get a wide-open look there. That was just a heck of a shot. The clock will stop with 5:59 to go in quarter number 2. And there is going to be a shooting foul called on Karl-Anthony Towns. O'Mazey says we simply cannot lose to the Knicks by 20 at home. That's right. Maybe it'll be 30. Just kidding. I'm just joking. I'm just totally joking. This offense without Joel Embiid and Paul George is just absolutely putrid. Foul shot number 1. Tyrese Maxey makes it. Actually got fouled on the shoulder. And free throw number 2 by Tyrese. He got it to go that time. You just knew that the Knicks were just going to give Tyrese Maxey all these different looks and just make somebody else pay. Even when Maxey is going to get his. You know, it's just like how do you get the other teammates involved? Edgecombe just deflected a pass out of bounds. And the clock will stop with 12 seconds on the shot clock for the Knicks. The Knicks are 5 for 5 from 3 in this quarter. The Sixers have only attempted 1 tray and are 0 for 1 from downtown. Here is Brunson again with a skip pass. That's going to go to Josh Hart, and they'll hand it back off to Brunson again. Jalen Brunson, only 5 points in this game. It's been Bridges and Robinson, Alvarado, and Towns doing a lot of the heavy lifting. And with 0.5 seconds left in the shot clock, Edgecombe, as the camera's on him, there was a stoppage in play. Edgecombe looked like tried to foul him right there. And actually, they said they'll call it a block shot, and the ball did go on out of bounds. 0.5 seconds left on the shot clock. Or are they just going to call a jump ball here? What's going on? Edgecombe will tip it into the hands of Maxey. I don't think that Brunson wanted to go up for it because he was like, it's a lose-lose anyway here. And so Tyrese Maxey gets it for the 76ers. Maxey again finds Edgecombe running over towards the foul line, extended. Can't make the first jump shot. On the second try, he tries to scoop and score. And the Sixers are going to get the ball back. Robinson got the rebound, and then as soon as he came down with it, he just stepped on out of bounds. Mike Brown's looking up at the Jumbotron. Let's see again. It was a clean block by Mitch, and did he step on out? I think he did, actually. Sixers will inbound it here, and another stoppage in play, thanks to Mikal Bridges on a foul away from the play. Oh, man. Only enough tickets for full season ticket holders because other teams get tickets also. Yes, that is true. Here's Maxey at the line because of the play from the away foul. Maxey makes the foul shot, and the Sixers will inbound it again. Maxey will inbound it from the right baseline for Philadelphia. Gives it over to Edgecombe. Now it's Oubre at the top of the key. Maxey's moving very quickly without the basketball. Maxey to Barlow, a catch and shoot trifecta. That's up and no good. And Bona tried to get the rebound there, and they're actually going to say that Bona fouled Mikal Bridges. And the clock will stop with 5:08 left in this second quarter. It is a personal foul. Sixers are getting out-rebounded in this first half, 18-17. And that doesn't necessarily tell the full story. The Knicks have 20 assists. The Sixers only have 6. Another 3 by New York. And finally, Mikal Bridges is human. 4:50 remaining in quarter number 2. The lineup for the Sixers, it's Tyrese Maxey, Kelly Oubre Jr., VJ Edgecombe, Dominic Barlow, and Adem Bona for the 76ers. Maxey again looking to attack. He kicks it out to Oubre. His catch-and-shoot three-pointer. Close but no cigar. Robinson attacking on the glass. Gets the rebound. Brunson over to Alvarado. Another 3. And he's human. So here's Oubre, and now Dominic Barlow comes down Broadway, hands it off over to Maxey. Maxey got the ball deflected away, and as the ball goes out of bounds over towards the far baseline, it looks like Alvarado sort of pushed Tyrese Maxey out of bounds from what I saw, and it'll still remain Sixers possession. I think Philly is ready for baseball, says Dr. DeLay. Doc, are you ready for baseball, my friend? What's going on, my friend? How you doing? Thanks so much for stopping on by. As always, 59-35. Don't mind the score. 76ers down by 24 points. 4:19 left to go in quarter number 2. Don't forget, guys, go support Dr. DeLay. He does an awesome job. He's covering hockey. He's doing the Olympics. This guy is just sticking his hands in every single sport because he has that Mamba mentality. He has that work ethic. He's just absolutely awesome at what he does. Edgecombe's going to get the inbound pass from Tyrese Maxey, and then he'll try to reward Tyrese Maxey down low over on the baseline, and there's a turnaround jump shot. Just a nice shot by Tyrese right in Landry Shamit's wheelhouse. 59-37. 4 minutes left to go in quarter number 2. Maxey was 16. The rest of the 76ers just have 21. And the Sixers are going to get the ball back. The ball was thrown on out of bounds. It's a bad play by the New York Knicks, and they go to a replay as the 76ers are in action. So we'll see what happens here. Hopefully nothing too much. All right, so here's Maxey. He got the ball up the court, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Dominic Barlow. We tried to set a pick for him, and it's a moving screen. And so just when the New York Knicks play sloppy basketball, the 76ers, they just decide to turn it on over, and they have a little hiccup, and the New York Knicks, you know, when they smell blood, they're able to attack. I don't know about that, but thanks, JJ. Well, I definitely know that that you put in your blood, your sweat, and your tears, and you do an awesome job. And I'm very proud of all the milestones that you have achieved and will continue to achieve, and just keep up all the great work, my friend. I've been telling you that since day one from when I met you. Mikal Bridges off the dribble, puts up a foul line J. That one is good. And it's now 61-37. Again, if you were to tell me that Jalen Brunson would only have 5 points, I would have told you that probably the Knicks are going to get blown out of this game without OG Anunoby and also without Deuce McBride. A 3 by the Sixers. That's up and no good. Marjon Beauchamp is Beauchamp is going to miss the three-pointer. Sorry about that. Towns got the defensive rebound. Bad pass by Mikal Bridges. Maxey gets the steal. Maxey lays it up and on in. 61-39. Just to finish out my point, though, if you were to tell me that Brunson would only have 5 points, there was no OG Anunoby, and there was also no Miles McBride. Karl-Anthony Towns has 14 points, and Mikal Bridges is 15. I still would have called you crazy, though, and I would have said that the 76ers are probably winning this game. But here's Karl-Anthony Towns again, got the ball blocked. Sixers turn it over again. Beauchamp is going to pass it over to the wrong player. That's Mikal Bridges. He used to be a 76er once upon a time. Didn't even get to play for the Sixers, but was technically a Sixer on draft night, but not the right teammate tonight, that's for sure. Maxey again with a nice pass to Edwards for a 3, and the Sixers just cannot hit anything. That was from downtown. He got a clean look there. Shamit moving the tempo. Bridges making the layup. The Sixers getting killed and absolutely annihilated in this game in this first half. Mikal Bridges speeding up the tempo, 65-39. Another steal by the New York Knicks. Sixers are turning the ball over, and another 3-on-1 possession possession. Mikal Bridges with a nice little handoff to Landry Shamet, and it's now 67-39. What an embarrassment here in the first half by Philadelphia, just turning the ball over left and right. They've allowed 31 of their 67 points here in quarter number 2 and have only 16 points to put up for it. Maxey just again could not hit the line drive shot from the near elbow. Towns with a drive to the basket. No fouls have been called, and he's been not getting any calls today, but that's certainly been something that the Sixers, I guess, have gone their way. That's the only thing, really. Oubre just had a nice pass to Dominic Barlow, who just made a layup. And on the other side, there is a whistle on Justin Edwards, and it was in the act of shooting. And guess who's going to head to the line? It's going to be Karl-Anthony Towns. This is just barbecue chicken for Karl-Anthony Towns, getting right to his spot. The Knicks are just beating the 76ers in every single facet, whether it's in the fast break, whether it's on the three-point shot. They are just pantsing and toying with Philadelphia. An absolute good old butt-whooping action. Foul shot number 1. That one is good. Cat, well, he's been in the league since 2015. Was the first overall pick by the Timberwolves. And spent his first 10 seasons, or 9 seasons, with Minnesota. This year, though, averaging 19.8 points per game. That is the second lowest of his career. You got to go back to his rookie season when he was averaging 18.3 points per game with the Minnesota Timberwolves. 69-41, 1 minute left in quarter number 2. Here we go. Sixers only have 4 timeouts left, by the way. Maxey draws contact and is fouled, and that'll stop the clock with 54.1 seconds remaining. Cat is second in the league in rebounding. He's averaging just under 12 rebounds per game. He's also shooting 46.5% from the field. Dexter says that that's all on coaching. I would say a lot of it is certainly on coaching. Maxey's first free throw, it's short. I remember when I was younger, when they were, not high-fiving, but, the players, of course, and they still do this when they sort of, not shake hands, but they do like a little, like low five. My dad would say, why are they high-fiving after they missed the free throw? 69-42. I don't know why that just popped up in my head. 45 seconds left here in the second quarter. 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Brunson dribbling over towards the top of the key again. Wants to dance all over Trendon Watford. And he distributes it over to Mikal Bridges. Shamet pump fake three-pointer at the buzzer. No. That was the shot clock buzzer. It's saved, though, by Mitchell Robinson. Another 3 by Brunson, and that one is good. And that is going to give the New York Knicks a 30-point lead. So, again, second chance opportunities, the fight, and the athleticism all going into the New York Knicks' favor. And it sort of just feels like that the 76ers have picked up right where they left off from that game against the Trailblazers. Maxey attacking, underhanded scoop is off the mark. And here's Josh Hart running the tempo, speeding things up. And Bridges couldn't make the layup. Hart also couldn't tip it up and in. And that's going to make us go on into halftime, 72-42. And that is the end of the first half. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. A lot of things to go on over. Just an absolute embarrassing first half for the Philadelphia 76ers. And I think that that's just calling a spade a spade. That's, I don't sugarcoat things, but they are not playing well at all. We'll break it all down. We'll talk more about it, and we'll try to see if the 76ers can show a little bit more fight in the second half and what they're going to have to do, specifically in the third quarter, which, by the way, they have not had any success in this year. Really not a lot. Yeah, give us about 5 minutes or so. We'll be back for a little halftime show, and we'll talk a little bit more about what went wrong for the 76ers and where they can improve upon here in the second half once it gets started. All right, so we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Be back in about 5 minutes or so to talk more about this first half and just what went so wrong for the 76ers. Well, in case you are just tuning on in for the first time tonight, the 76ers are down by 30 points. We actually just got breaking news. Chris Bassett signed a one-year deal with the Baltimore Orioles. Wow. He just signed a one-year, $18.5 million contract with Baltimore. Wow, that's crazy. But yes, the New York Knicks are up by 30 points against the Philadelphia 76ers. And the Sixers are without Joel Embiid. They're without Paul George. And the Knicks, by the way, too, they're playing without OG Anunoby. And they're also without Miles McBride. The 76ers just got off to a really bad start in this game. The New York Knicks came out there with one plan, and that was to get Karl-Anthony Towns going. And Cat going up against the Dembona has really just been like a little kid going up against like a big bad bully. And honestly, I'm going to tell you this. Nick Nurse tonight made a big mistake from the get-go, and that is Andre Drummond should have started in this game. I'm not here to tell you, though, that is the reason why the 76ers are down. Do not get it twisted. But you need your best rebounder out there. This guy, Karl-Anthony Towns, is second in the league in rebounding. Where is Andre Drummond? Why does it take him 5 minutes just to come on into the game? Dembona, you just knew that he was going to get absolutely shelled by Karl-Anthony Towns. I'm watching Towns hit a 3 over Dembona. I'm watching him shimmy right over to the bucket and just laying it up and in like he's in high school and he's just playing pickup basketball. I really feel that way. And that's the type of basketball that I saw early on in the game in that first quarter. The New York Knicks, their strategy was to get Karl-Anthony Towns involved in the action and also attack in the paint while utilizing the pick and roll to their advantage. They were the first ones down there on the court on both ends. They played with lightning burst energy. And that is what the 76ers have lacked in this game. And it's unfortunate, right? Because you thought that maybe, just maybe, tonight that the Philadelphia 76ers would start things off with a sense of urgency, with a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of that chip on their shoulder. And it just did not work out that way from the jump. And if Andre Drummond is your best rebounder on your team, and Joel Embiid's not playing, does it really make sense to play Dembona at the start of the game against Cat? Because the answer that I have is no. Mitchell Robinson's a very good rebounder too. I would take my chances. I would have taken my chances and had Dembona go up against Mitchell Robinson. Also, Andre Drummond has a lot of experience going up against Karl-Anthony Towns. So I just feel like that Nick Nurse got them off on the wrong foot from just that lineup perspective. They were going to blitz Tyrese Maxey, and they did an awesome job at blitzing Tyrese Maxey in that first half. Mikal Bridges' defense was phenomenal. He was rotating very well in the paint, and guys just got back into their sets. They played a lot of zone. The Knicks did on the defensive side, and the Sixers just could not get easy shots off of them. A lot of Tyrese Maxey's shots that he took were tough, were turnaround jumpers. Same thing with VJ Edgecombe. The New York Knicks, I gotta tip my cap to them in the sense and say that the 76ers were just not ready to start things off. They were just not ready. They were unprepared. And it's not really a surprise that they're getting outmatched like this when you really do think about it. I tried to convince myself that the 76ers would get off to a really hot start. I was wrong. I was. But I also, to my own credit, thought that if the Knicks lost to the Pacers the way that they did, well, maybe the Sixers have a chance to get off to a nice start. And that was just not the case. So, chat, my question that I have for you is when you go into the second half here, and this is my legitimate question, do you even play Tyrese Maxey? Or do you just wave the white flag at this point and just say GG and give other guys a chance? I know it sounds like a stupid question. Let me know what your thoughts are. Would you waive? Would you say that Tyrese Maxey, you're not going to go back out there to start things off here in the second half, and we're just going to let the other guys play? Would you, if you were the coach, would you do that? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think down below. Other scores around the NBA. The Hornets, they lead at 89-75 as they go on into the fourth quarter. The Cavaliers are up 104-87 against the Washington Wizards. There's 1 minute left in the third quarter of that game. The Bucks, they lead it by 2 against the Orlando Magic. They're in the fourth quarter with 9:23 left to go. The Bulls, they are down 83-53. Cam Thomas. I forgot Cam Thomas is now on Milwaukee. That's a good move for that. Nets are up 71-60 against the Indiana Pacers. Sixers, of course, down by 30. Raptors down by 15 points at the half. The Clippers trail by 13 against the Rockets with 2:27 left in the first half of that game. Trailblazers trail by 5 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Jalen McDaniels, 15 points for him. Scoot Henderson, 13. And then the Heat and the Pelicans are tied at 48. And those are all the games around the NBA right now. There's 4 more that are supposed to occur in a little bit later tonight. Mark says, wave the white flag. Wave the flag. Let me ask you why. I'm just curious. I am just wondering because one could make the argument and say, well, at this point, what's really the point in bringing back Tyrese Maxey? You're down by 30. You can also maybe try to get more of a spark plug from your bench and see what you got from them. But give Tyrese Maxey a little bit of rest. Just don't even bother because what's the point of him going on out there at this point in time? That's one sort of argument. But also, the reason why, I guess, if I were to defend that, I would probably say this: what kind of morale are you setting for what kind of morale are you setting for the team just by giving up there like that? A good head coach would try to find a way to expose that and try to make your team, go rah-rah, that type of a thing. So, rally together. This team needs to give the rest of the team a chance to work together. This is Mark. I think that's fair. I do. I think that's fair. Jalen Brunson's going to inbound it to Mikal Bridges, and the ball ends up getting knocked loose by Oubre. And that is going to go on out of bounds. Last touch by the 76ers. Barlow, Oubre, Maxey, Edgecombe, and Bona are all out there for Philadelphia. Bridges swings it over to Josh Hart. Down low is Karl-Anthony Towns. Wide open 3 by Shamet. It's just so easy for him to just knock down that shot. And now it's a 33-point lead for Landry Shamet and the New York Knicks I mean, he just had nobody on him at all, and the Sixers just could not guard him whatsoever, could not close out. Oubre to Edgecombe. His catch-and-shoot three-pointer is a little bit off. Hart put a hand in his face. Towns came up with the rebound, and Jalen Brunson looking to attack on the other side. He's been pretty cold in this game, too, but it doesn't matter. Hart with a near-corner three. In and out it goes. Rebounded by VJ Edgecombe. Kelly Oubre wants to speed it up for the 76ers, and is looking to hand it off to Edgecombe, and he gets called for a travel. I don't know what he was doing there. He just sort of slowed up for no reason as he was going down the lane, and he just looked really confused on what to do. Just attack. Take it over to the cup. What are you doing? All right, so we played only a minute in this third quarter. Again, 33-point lead for the New York Knicks. Hart wide open on the far corner, decided not to take the three. Instead took the floater, and Barlow caught his miss in stride. Maxey looking to pass it to Barlow. Dribble handoffs are coming. Maxey steps back, takes a three, and it's good. Tyrese Maxey got nothing but net there against Josh Hart. And it was good defense, just better offense for Philadelphia. Maxey is 2 for 4 in this game from three-point range. He has 22 points and is shooting 50% from the field. 7 field goals made on 14 tries. Brunson looking to attack against Dominic Barlow. An elbow jump shot, too strong again. Sixers have the rebound. Maxey got it off the back iron. His three-point shot is a little bit short, and Towns there to just take the rebound. Barlow or Bona could box him out. Shamet to Towns behind the back. Bounce pass to Mikal Bridges on the near corner. And another pass to Josh Hart. Cut into the basket is Landry Shamet. Look at all the off-ball movement that they have. And Mikal Bridges gets fouled with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. And the question is he going to get 3 free throws here or just 2? So Maxey fouled Mikal Bridges. It is a 30-point deficit. And Bridges will head to the line. Foul shot number 1. It will be 3 free throws. Is good by Mikal Bridges. Mikal does have 20 points in this game. Towns has 16, 9, and 5, meaning 9 rebounds and 5 apples. Bridges, the last time that he put up 20 points, at least till the third quarter, you got to go back to last year. Actually, at one point this year, he did have he had 35 against the Boston Celtics in 34 minutes and was able to get to the 20 marker in the middle of the third quarter. 9:43 left here in the third quarter, and it's a 78-45 game. 25-8 on the assists. Maxey's three-point shot way too strong. Bona got absolutely annihilated on that rebound and pushed and shoved to the ground. It is a loose ball foul called on the Knicks. Just again, look at how the Philadelphia 76ers are operating. They are just scrambling. They look desperate out there on the defensive side. They can't stop anything. And offensively, there's just not a lot of off-ball movement. Guys are just sort of trapped and stuck in quicksand, it looks like. Maxey with a bounce pass to Dominic Barlow, and Barlow makes another tough layup inside as he got double-teamed by Shamet and even Josh Hart. But he still got it to go. Barlow, 3 for 5 from the field. He's had only 7 points in 19 minutes. Brunson comes at the top of the key. Hands it off to Karl-Anthony Towns. The floater by Josh Hart. He grabs his own rebound and is able to put it up and in and go to the line for one more. As the Sixers double-teamed Jalen Brunson, so the defense was lured onto him, and then Towns got it right at the foul line, dumped it off to Josh Hart, and on the first try, Barlow tried to block it. Nobody went for the ball. It was a good defensive play, but then no one, and I mean nobody, could get to the ball, and just stop that man from getting the rebound. He is a good rebounder, of course, 80-47. Spike Lee is happy over on the sideline, and so the foul shot is good. Again, it's not in New York, it's in Philadelphia. 81-47, and Philadelphia trying to make some shots here. Dominic Barlow running and driving the bus and taking it down the lane, and it's good. Sixers are playing like garbage, says James. I don't know what game you're watching, my friend, but I think that garbage is not even the right terminology. I'm kidding. Adembona going down the lane again. Throws it down with both hands. May have gotten away with a travel. And that'll decrease the lead to 30. I think you're being too nice, James. I do. I think I'm being a little bit too nice. But everybody gets the point. Shamet over on the far corner. Great ball movement again by the New York Knicks. Here comes a pick set by Towns. They decide not to use it. Shamet does trip up, and he's going to lose the basketball, and it'll go on out of bounds. And the Sixers will get the ball back. Each team has scored 9 points already here in this second half so far. Oubre distributes it to Barlow. Barlow back to Oubre. And Kelly pivots and spins around, finds Barlow again. And Dominic Barlow's floater is good. I'll tell you this, Dominic Barlow has scored the last 6 points for the Philadelphia 76ers, and it has cut it to a 28-point lead for New York. If there's any sort of momentum that you want to get started, I guess now's the time to do it. Bridges at the Xfinity Mobile Arena sign, crosses over a couple of times. Towns on the pick and roll, just posterized Kelly Oubre, and that is up and in, and a foul is called as well on the 76ers. Just an absolute crazy finish by Karl-Anthony Towns on a little windmill, and he just was able to throw it down with that right hand. 30-point lead for the Knicks. Towns at the line for one more. The free throw is good by Karl-Anthony Towns, who now has 18 points. Towns and Bridges combined have put up nearly half of the Knicks' points. And Jalen Brunson only has 8. That's nearly 1/10 of their points tonight. Maxey spins around, puts up a tough jump shot, and he is fouled again. Sixers are going to burn a timeout, though. Before Tyrese Maxey will go to the line, they will call for time with 6:50 left to go in the third quarter. That's what they said on ESPN. And, yep, okay. So a timeout is called. We'll be right back. We step aside. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty. Philadelphia down by 31 points, 84-53, with 6:50 remaining in quarter number 3. This is Jason Joseph here, and you're tuning on into 76ers basketball here on Play-by-Play with JJ. Free throw number 1 by Tyrese Maxey. It's a line drive, and it goes right down the drain with ease. Tyrese has shot the ball very well in this game. 23 points, and he's done a lot of the carrying, and nobody else has really seemed to step on up. Edgecombe with just 6. Barlow does have 11, but when that's happening and the Knicks are just finding ways to get other men to step on up, and the Sixers just could not get any stops, then that makes the task even that much more difficult. Brunson, trapped again, finds Karl-Anthony Towns, buzzing his way downhill. The shot's up, the shot is good, and that'll make it back to a 31-point lead. Towns just had an army on him and was still able to lay it up and in. He's only missed 5 field goals tonight, and he needs one more rebound already to get a double-double. Maxey from outer space launches a 3, and that's good. Tyrese Maxey smiles for a quick second and then gets back on defense as the clock sort of slows up a little bit. 86-58. That's the third 3 that Tyrese has made tonight. And Hart will hand it off again. That will go to Mikal Bridges. No foul called. Oubre went down. Hart's 3-point shot clanks on out, and Oubre snatches the board for Philadelphia. The lineup for the Knicks, it's Towns, Hart, Bridges, Shamet, and Brunson. The Sixers had Tyrese Maxey miss a fadeaway 2 from about 19 feet, and the Knicks again corralled the basketball. Barlow, Bona, Oubre, Maxey, and Edgecombe are the 5 for Philadelphia. Charles Bassey has not even stepped on in for the 76ers. But they say that he will probably get some time, you would think, here in this second half. A floater by Edgecombe, and that is good for Philadelphia to make it 88-60 with 4:55 to go in quarter number 3. VJ now 8 points and 4 rebounds. I mean, just to sort of put it all into perspective, as Bridges puts up a turnaround 3-pointer, that's no good. Bona catches the miss. Oubre back to Edgecombe again, and we have a foul on Brunson. And that'll be against VJ Edgecombe. Just to put it all in perspective, though, again, like, when you really just think about how this game has gone so far, the main reason why it's been so lopsided, too, is you think about just the 3-point shooting that the 76ers have allowed. Jose Alvarado started to get things going from downtown. He made 2 big 3s in a row for the New York Knicks in that second quarter. You think about Landry Shamet, who's been red hot and on fire, not necessarily in this game, but he's made a 3. Mohamed Diawara, 2 for 2 from downtown. I mean, their bench in this game, the Knicks that is, have put up 22 points. That's just unacceptable. 88-61. Edgecombe made the first free throw. Foul shot number 2, good as gold.
Excellent.
All right, so Sixers have to play defense here. Diawara back out there. Gives it up over to Jordan Clarkson on the perimeter. Clarkson dribbles down the lane. Brunson had it knocked away off of his left foot. And the Sixers are going to get the ball back now. 4:20 remaining in quarter number 3. So the Knicks decide to go with their bench here. And we'll see if the 76ers can attack. Mikal Bridges is still out there, and so is Brunson. Maxey on the drive to the basket just dunks it on home and is able to climb up. And the Sixers down by 24 points now. 4:06 remaining in quarter number 3. They've gone on a little run, and they have a little bit of some light going for them. Charles Bassey has now entered on into the game for Philadelphia, too, right before that timeout was called. And so, Knicks will take a timeout. And see, that is how you do it. That is how you take a timeout if you are Mike Brown. Understanding that they're catching fire, want to slow them down, want to sort of get back into your rhythm. Knicks were turning the ball over a little bit, and they were making mistakes. The Sixers were capitalizing on that little run. Can they keep it up, is the question. Got that nice little screen by Charles Bassey to get Tyrese Maxey free for a dunk. Maxey has 29 points, according to Paul Hudrick, but only two other Sixers, just two other 76ers have scored in double figures. And that's Edgecombe and Barlow. We did see earlier this year that the 76ers did have at one point they had it was a 128 to 92 victory. That was, last year against the New York Knicks. And they did annihilate them in that game. And that was one of the largest road wins in Sixers history against the Knicks. But it seems like that obviously the script has been flipped here. And the Knicks, their largest margin of victory versus the 76ers is, as I look it up, well, according to Gemini, it's a 42-point win. And that was 120 to 78. And you got to go back to November of 1994. November 15th of 1994. The Sixers have actually beaten the Knicks 266 times, and they have faced each other in their franchise history a total of 479 times. So that's what's going on. So, hopefully you're all doing all right, though. Thanks so much for sticking this out with me here on Play by Play with JJ. Make sure, again, that you guys hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel as well. We still have plenty of basketball left to go. This is not over. There's still 4 minutes left in just the third quarter. Maxey at 29 points. The rest of the team so far is 35. Besides Maxey, the Sixers are 1 for 13 from downtown. It's just unacceptable. Clarkson is going to get the inbound. They give it back over to Jalen Brunson. Brunson is double-teamed again. They swing it over to Clarkson. And another wide-open three by New York, and that is way off the mark. Robinson saves it, though. Rebound by him. Clarkson's three-point shot. That one's off, too. Maxey tracks down the miss. And he'll drive it over to the cup as he passes it over to Barlow. Barlow back to Watford at the foul line. One more in the dunker spot to Watford, and that's good. Or Bassey, that is. Excuse me. It's a 22-point deficit now for Philadelphia. I still don't understand why they decided to double-team Jalen Brunson, because the bodies just could not get back against Diawara there to knock that, or to block that shot. Robinson with the two, and he's fouled by Charles Bassey, and he will head to the line and shoot a pair of free throws. Let us know where you guys are tuning on in from tonight. Sixers only have 3 timeouts left. That's it. They've cut it to a 22-point deficit. The Knicks' largest lead that they've had in this game was at 34. Robinson at the line, foul shot number 1. It hits foul line right, and it goes out. 27 more subs until we get to the 8,300 marker. Mike Brown's leaving that bench unit out there for a little bit of time. If he misses here, Robinson, then that means free Chick-fil-A McNuggets here. 3:08 left in the third quarter. 88 to 66. Oh, man. Here we go. Foul shot number 2. It's a line drive, and it's good. And he held his pose as well. Robinson with 8 points, 4 blocks, and 5 boards off the glass. Watford, Maxey, and Edgecombe, along with Barlow and Bassey for Philadelphia. Bassey tips out the missed shot by Trendon Watford, and it goes into a Knicks player's hands. Clarkson back to Alvarado, a deep 3, and before that, it's waved off, and the foul issued against Philadelphia again. You know, at least Charles Bassey's getting a little bit of some run tonight. I don't know if the 76ers are going to get more out of his contract or extend him or what. Probably not. But at least he's getting some types of minutes tonight. Robinson will head back to the line for the second time in this half. Free throw number 1, not even close. I remember when Charles Bassey was playing for the Bluecoats, and he helped them during the G League playoffs, helped them get to the G League finals with B-ball Paul. Foul shot number 2 by Robinson. They got it. And Paul Reed, at the time that I checked the score of the Detroit Pistons game, Paul Reed actually had 18 points for Detroit. 90-66, a 34-point deficit for Philadelphia. Maxey double-teamed, has to throw it, and Josh Hart was looking to intercept it before it went on out of bounds. Just could not keep both feet in, and Sixers still will have possession of the ball. Saw Mitch just sort of smile a little bit as he got that second free throw to go. It was just one of those shots where it was either going to miss really badly or it was just going to clank hard in, and it did for his sake. Watford on the inbound pass to V.J. Edgecombe, and he gets it at the top of the key. Maxey lost the ball for a second, tries to save it. It's deflected. It goes into the hands of V.J. His three-pointer. He knew it was off, and Josh Hart is able to jump up and climb the ladder. Alvarado, a catch-and-shoot 3, and that one is good as gold for Jose Alvarado. Edgecombe slicing, dicing towards the rim, and dunks it on home. It's back to a 25-point game, 93-68. 2:01 left to be played, and we have another stoppage in play on the floor again. At least I saw Maxey dunks, says Joe. Why New York is Philly's kryptonite? I'll never understand. Love to see you, brother. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. It's good to see you too, my friend. Tell your mom I said hello. 2:01 left here in the third quarter. Sixers have just been fouling Mitchell Robinson. I mean, at this point, I guess if you're just trying to get anything to work, why not? Robinson at the line does make the first free throw. There's one fan that's not necessarily happy. But you do see a lot of Knicks fans here. I will say that. They travel pretty well across side 95. I turn away for a second, and they lost the second quarter by 17 points. Foul shot number 2. Mitchell Robinson knocks both of them down. 95-68. He has 11 points in this game. Edgecombe at the foul line extended. Looks to give it back to Tyrese Maxey. And Maxey over to Edgecombe. The defense lures on to him. Edgecombe for 3. It's short. And Robinson there at the right time again for the miss. Alvarado looking for Clarkson on the near corner. Clarkson moves and goes back to the bottom of the lane and takes an off-balance runner inside, and he got it to go again. Smooth finish by Jordan Clarkson, former six-man player of the year, as Maxey attacks on the other side and is fouled in the act of shooting, attacking the basket, and going on over to the foul line right now. And he'll try to attempt 2 free throws again. Why isn't beat out again? You just had a rest game. Great question. Great question. Maxey at the line, foul shot number 1, in and out it goes. Maxey, I know that the stats say one thing with his foul shooting, but it does feel like that Tyrese Maxey has been missing more free throws this year than he did last year and even 2 years ago. But I know his percentages is pretty good. Just saying, though. Free throw number 2 by Tyrese, and that'll make it 97-69. Tyrese has 30 points. This is like the quietest 30 points that you'll probably ever remember. 30 for him, 9 for 20 from the field. Clarkson, floater up, no good, and another whistle against Philadelphia. I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is officially, this is it. This is our last night streaming from our laptop at home. Free throw number 1, it's good. Anybody going to watch the All-Star Celebrity Game on Friday? Let me know down below. Clarkson at the line for one more, holds his pose, and it's just too easy for Jordan Clarkson. That's why he's one of the best foul shooters in all of the NBA. Let me take that back. He's a very good foul shooter. I think I give him a little bit too much credit there. Maxey off balance, took a 3, but they won't count the shots. It's going to be a foul called on the floor. Edgecombe just can't get his three-point going. He was Mr. Three-Pointer 2 weeks ago. Look. The thing is that he's getting so much attention tonight. I will give the Knicks a lot of credit because they're scrambling. Their defense has just been so in sync. Now, the 76ers, from their perspective, what do you think is going to happen when you don't have a lot of motion away from the ball? You will just watch and you look at the film and you see what the New York Knicks are doing. They're setting screens. They're setting screens away from plays. And there's a lot of movement. And there's a lot of full court passes that are going on because they're just speeding down the court. And they're making these tic-tac-toe plays. And the Sixers are just tired. They're gassed. Clarkson, buzzing his way downhill, gets right on past one defender, and Charles Bassey blocked it from behind. And that'll stop the clock with 6 seconds left on the shot clock and 42 seconds on the game clock. And says, I think so too. They just look so tired. Here we go. Robinson again with a handoff, and that goes over to Alvarado, and his three-point shot is no good, but he is fouled. And more free throws coming on up for the New York Knicks. That was on Tyrese Maxey. I'm going to ask this question again. Okay. Do you sit Tyrese Maxey? Do you just sit Tyrese Maxey? Okay, he's in foul trouble. The team is down by 29 points as Alvarado makes his first free throw. Do you sit Tyrese Maxey and the rest of the starters now? Free throw number 2. That one is just a bit off by Jose Alvarado. By the way, has put up very good numbers against the Philadelphia 76ers, averaging 16 points per game as a role player. And so, free throw number 3, he goes 2 for 3 from the line. That'll make it 101-71. Maxey at the logo again for Philadelphia. Off the dribble. Here comes the double team. He has to skip pass it over to Justin Edwards. Edwards standing and now finally moving. Dumps it off to Maxey again. Steps back, launches another 3, and that one's way too strong. And Brunson just taking his time in no particular hurry. 101-71. 13 seconds left here in the third quarter. Jalen Brunson gives it back over to Alvarado. Clarkson wide open 3. And that is an absolute stab in the heart for Philadelphia. 104-71. Maxey with a heaver. And that one won't go. And we're going to go into quarter number 4. 104-71. Still 1 quarter left to play in Philadelphia. Just a good old ass whooping for the New York Knicks, as the Knicks fans are celebrating here in Philadelphia already. And we'll be back for the fourth quarter in just about 2 minutes or so. Don't go anywhere. See you soon. Oh boy. Folks, my name is Jason Joseph. This is Play-by-Play with JJ. Again, I really appreciate you guys sticking this out with me. You guys are the absolute best. Sixers trail by 33 points. They are not the best tonight. They are far from it. They've made 9 less threes compared to the New York Knicks. They are 4 for 23 from beyond the arc, which is only good enough for 17%. They're getting out-rebounded 35-27 on the glass. They're getting out-assisted 31-12. They're getting beaten every single aspect of this game, including turnovers and points in the paint as well. So the Knicks have also had the lead for 96% of this game. So we will start off the fourth quarter momentarily. 104-71 is the score. The Knicks have been really just putting on a full display here against the 76ers. And the Knicks, I'll tell you this, the New York Knicks certainly do need this win. I know that the Boston Celtics are half a game above them, and they are currently annihilating their opponent 121-97. That's the Chicago Bulls. But, you know, they still got to keep up with them. And if you're the Sixers, this is just really not how you wanted it to go. I know, again, that Joel Embiid wasn't going to play and that you're still missing Paul George, but there's really no excuse when it comes to just lack of effort and lack of just sense of urgency, really. You just can't do that. You can't do that to yourselves. And you had a chance to win the regular season matchup against the New York Knicks to settle for the tiebreakers, and really weren't able to do that in the first 3 quarters. Now, VJ Edgecombe does start off the fourth quarter with a layup, and so give him now 14 points. He's 6 for 15 from the field and 4 rebounds in this game. Alvarado swings it out to the top of the key. Bridges over to Alvarado. They're toying with the Sixers, and Alvarado hits a wide-open 3. At this point, just from a coaching perspective, you can just see how, I mean, the Sixers are getting picked apart in every single aspect. I feel like I'm just repeating myself. But at this point, like, what else really is there to say? Another 3 for the New York Knicks. They're human, but guess what? Towns just got the offensive rebound. We've only played 1 minute in this fourth quarter. The Sixers do get a steal. However, Alvarado gets a steal back off of a terrible pass by Oubre. So Oubre got the steal, and then the ball was stolen back by the Knicks. And as they tried to go up with a 2, a foul was called on the floor. Other news around the NBA, Nikola Vucevic for the Boston Celtics. Tell you, he's been a very good pickup for them. 19 points and 11 rebounds in that game for Nikola Vucevic. Remember when he was a 76er? I most certainly do. What was I? I was a kid. Gershon Yabusele, of course, now playing for the Chicago Bulls. He actually has 13 points in that game. So, 108-73. Clarkson, foul shot number 2, just a little bit off the mark. Vucevic is 35 years old. He's been in the NBA since 2011. Spent one season with the 76ers and then played with the Magic from 2012 to 2021. Quentin Grimes always hurt or ill. He's not reliable. Yep, he did not play today either. A little pass that actually hit the bottom of the rim. Bona got the steal, but what do you know? He throws it away, and Alvarado hits himself another 3 to just close the deal against the 76ers. 111-73. Jose Alvarado just closing it out for the New York Knicks. Another steal by New York. Mikal Bridges looking for some help, and Alvarado, another 3-point shot. Enough already. Enough already. Jose Alvarado is now 8 for 11 from the field, and he is hitting everything in this game. Literally everything. And so we have another foul on New York, and Bona got nicked up on the wrist. And at this point, Alvarado could, not even exaggerating, but this guy's averaging 7.9 points per game. But every time that he faces the 76ers, this is just what he does. And you give him that much space, this is a season high for him. He had 24 points against the Memphis Grizzlies back in November of this year. Of this season, I should say. And already in this game, he has 20. He does have 25. Sorry, he has 23. So he actually needs one more bucket in order for him to get to that marker. 9:33 left in the fourth quarter. The first 2 games with New York, Alvarado was just averaging 8 points per game and was shooting 35% of the field. Tonight, he's doubled his shooting percentage. He's shooting 70%. So the Sixers are going to take out their starters, except for Dominic Barlow, and the Knicks will have their full bench out there, including Jose Alvarado. Tyler Kolek is also there. Kevin McCullough Jr. from Kansas, now 24 years old. He is also out there for the Knicks as well. 114-73. Alvarado could not hit the 3. It was an air ball, and the Sixers have possession of the ball. They also have Huckporty out there for the New York Knicks. That's Ariel Huckporty, 23 years old, playing in his rookie season. Sixers did make a bucket on the other side. It's 114-77. Kolek dribbling around the screen. Here's Diawara with another 3-pointer, and that one is absolutely good. And the lead goes back to 30 for New York. Edwards on the drive towards the basket. Could not lay it up and in. And again, the Knicks have numbers on the other side. The Sixers, according to Mike over on Twitter, the Sixers have 13 seconds available to trade, and they could have traded three to four of them and acquired multiple halfway decent rotation players, by the way. And that's a follow-up tweet for one of his tweets earlier. Alvarado for the season high. Not that time. Couldn't hit the 3. Alvarado comes away with a steal. Extra effort by him. And instead it'll be unselfish. Diawara with a near corner 3. And that'll tell the 76ers good night. They will actually call it a 2. 119-77. So Mike said, I hope Daryl Morey is watching it. But honestly, it's legit 50-50. The Sixers have like 13 seconds available to trade, and they could have traded 3 to 4 of them and acquired multiple halfway decent rotation players. And they decided not to do anything with those draft picks. Nope. Knicks fans standing tall. Alvarado did just get 26 points. It's a season high for Jose Alvarado. 12 of them have come already in this fourth quarter. And so, 7 minutes and 18 seconds until this madness is over. Alvarado the Kolek for a three-pointer. That's going to hit off the back iron. I'll be honest with you. At this point, if you're Daryl Morey, you have just got to feel embarrassed with just the lack of moves that were made at this deadline. And just the lack of urgency, really. The roster construction right now is just so poor. It really is. 7 minutes left to go, and we have a stoppage in play. Put Bassey and Baldwin and Terry in. Like, what the heck? I mean, at this point, it's crazy. Knicks fans, what are they chanting? What are they chanting? I don't even know what they were chanting. I couldn't even hear it. I don't like to keep the volume up. Again, no OG Anunoby tonight either. 6:47 left in the fourth quarter. It's a 45-point lead for the Knicks, and the Sixers will burn yet another timeout. Gosh. Put the young guys in. Like, what the heck is going on? I just don't understand. The first thing that I don't understand is why didn't Joel Embiid play tonight? I don't get that. And I just, like, the problem is that your defense just did not want to show up. The same problems that have been going on throughout the entire season with the 76ers defense, just not rotating on anybody and double teaming on so many possessions. It just continues to kill you every single night. And tonight, it got you murdered. It just did. And even on Monday it did. So, to me, I'm going to ask you this. If you are Daryl Morey, is it time to fire Nick Nurse? I'm just asking the question. Is it time to fire Nick Nurse after a couple of bad games that he has had from a defensive schematic perspective? We've seen a lot of these same mistakes from Nick Nurse all season long. We saw it last year. People were making excuses last year and saying, well, the roster wasn't fully healthy. And while I agree, this guy also, I will never forget, there were times when in his first year, he was rallying the team together, even when guys were hurt. You saw a couple of games, one of them, they were down by 30 to the New Orleans Pelicans. And at the time, the Pelicans were actually not a bad team. And they almost won that game. But a lot of fans and even media members gave Nick Nurse a lot of credit during his rookie season as a 76ers head coach. But ever since then, you just seen a lot of miscues. And I know that it's not all on Nick Nurse. It's not all on him. The players have to be held accountable as well. And I don't necessarily think that I do as good of enough job on that. But just look at how they're being coached. Look, if you're watching the game or even if you're just listening along, I say wide open three. I feel like that comes out almost every minute out of my mouth. I really do. And when you leave a guy wide open for three because you're late on a rotation and because you're double teaming the ball handler what feels like 70% of the time, what do you think is going to happen? You watch the Knicks play defense tonight. They are rotating, they are moving, and they are scrambling, and they know exactly where to be at all times. And that's because Mike Brown has been putting them in positions to succeed, and he understands that even without Joel Embiid and without Paul George, yes, you're going to, of course, cause Tyrese Maxey a lot of chaos, but you still have to be able to find ways to attack the 76ers and make them step up on offense and make them just pay with ridiculous shots. And a lot of the 77 points that the Sixers have had, they've come from tough looks. That's just the truth. 5:50 left here in the fourth quarter. Sixers turned it over again. Jones, Diawara, Huckporty, McCullard, and Kolek are the 5 players out there for the Knicks right now. And 5.5 minutes to go. I'm not a Nurse fan. And the third quarter is horrible. But when everybody is there, we play good basketball, says O'Gluffy. And you're not wrong about that. Bilbo says this coach and organization absolutely despise the fans. Trade a fan favorite, then rest guys at home, right? Rest guys at home against New York. There's no reason to get invested in this team, says Bilbo. And Bilbo, look, I will always say that I didn't mind the trade for Jared McKean, but if they were going to trade McKean when they did, they needed to help. They needed an impact player right now to put alongside Joel Embiid and Paul George. Or, and I don't think a lot of fans would have supported this, and it wouldn't have been my first choice either. But if you were going to get rid of Jared McKean and you weren't going to make the team better, why didn't you just get rid of Joel Embiid? It's not fair for Joel. It's not. 129 to 81. And of course I love Joel Embiid. I do. But at this point, if the 76ers were like, you know what, like we're not gonna try to get better. We're just gonna get rid of Jared McKean, and we're not gonna go out there and get some other guys. Might as well try to get off the Embiid contract right now and see if we can just get some assets for him. And I know some people would probably disagree with that. And you know what? It wouldn't have been my first choice. But what I'm saying is that I would have appreciated it if the 76ers were heading in a direction and were straight up about it. Are you building for the future, or are you trying to win a championship now? What is it? Because clearly this is not how you build a championship team. You did not need to stay put. You couldn't stay put at the deadline. You just could not do it. So, 3:30 left to go, by the way. The clock did stop. 129-83. Dylan Jones at the line for 2 free throws. Does make the first one. It's going to be this is one of the largest margins of victory that the Knicks have had against the 76ers, unless, of course, the 76ers can cut it and go on a little run. What else do we got? What else do we got in the chat? I just want to see Bassey, Baldwin, and Terry and Beauchamp out there. Again, if I'm saying his name incorrectly, let me know. Beauchamp for a 3. That one is up, and that one is good. 131-86. What else do we got? Dalen Terry is in. All right, I agree. Nurse should be on the hot seat. Nurse has a stupid offensive and defensive system, says C. David. Look again. Just watch this play. Kolek has it over on the near wing, and again, the Sixers were just late on rotating. Now, they got a little bit lucky there because Kolek did travel, and he picked up his pivot foot. But regardless, probably would have beat him right on over to the basket if he didn't travel. But the Sixers are just late on rotating. They're just making the Knicks. They're spreading the ball around the timeline. Boom, boom, boom. One guy's on the near wing, one guy's at the top of the key, one guy's on the far corner, and they're just passing the ball, and they're just toying with the 76ers. They're like, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. And they're all wide open, and then they find somebody cutting right on over to the basket, and it's just as easy as that, but they turned it over because that was a mental mistake. So, again, Sixers just looking like a G League team tonight, and the biggest story of the game is that they are just getting outclassed in every single fashion and every single facet. And Tyrese Maxey can only do so much. And Maxey, I'm not even going to tell you that he had the best game tonight, but it's just not fair to put the whole weight on his shoulders. It's not. Also put Bassey and Baldwin in. Yeah, Nurse can be better, but he doesn't have much to work with. Got beat by 50 is not the coach alone, says O'Gluffy. And look, I'm happy that you bring that up because I do agree that the players need to be held accountable too, right? Because there are, and I'm not just like trying to like agree with you because look, I genuinely do agree. I agree with the point that the players need to be held accountable and that it's not all on the head coach. But a lot of the stuff, a lot of the play calling, a lot of the times like where you see these guys just put on into these positions, a lot of that is on coaching. But then when you see when you look at Jose Alvarado, for example, okay, Jose Alvarado wanted to get that season high. So he kept taking those threes. Okay, VJ Edgecombe is not looking. Jose Alvarado is hungry for that extra possession. Okay, as Edgecombe gets the steal, Edgecombe is not looking at Jose Alvarado and just makes a sloppy pass forward. Alvarado's right there, takes it right from him, and then just hit a step-back J right in front of his face. Now that, to me, is extra effort. And I understand at that moment in time, the 76ers are just getting abused in that moment of the game. And that's not necessarily the best example, but that's just an example that I would say where the point is that when you're giving up freebies, when you're giving away free passes like that, and you're just getting psychologically destroyed, that's what plays into it. You know? That's the reason why the Knicks are where they are in this game, because they've been toying with you all night long. And if you're going to make careless mistakes like that, if you're not going to take care of the basketball, if Tyrese Maxey is going to dribble it off of his right knee with no double team and make a mistake like that, that's on Tyrese Maxey, right? If Tyrese Maxey is a one-on-one and Jalen Brunson is driving it right over to the cup and Tyrese Maxey sells on defense, that's on Tyrese Maxey. But a lot of these possessions, a lot of the possessions from just watching the game, there's just so much space on the floor from rotating. And look, I mean, on this current possession here that the Knicks played, there was a double team at the very last second, but then guys were able to get back. And Janai Broom tries to go up with a 2. That's no good. But I mean, that's just the point. That's the point that I'm trying to make. Tris, what's going on? 'Twas a dismay when I saw this today. The Sixers down by 50. But hey, away is real sleigh to listen to play-by-play with JJ. Tris just dropped the mic on me. What's up? Tris didn't drop the mic. But what's going on, Tris? How you doing? O'Gluffy. What is O'Gluffy saying? My biggest problem with Nurse is that he's hard-headed. He makes no changes if the game plans don't work. The game plays and the game plans. And makes no adjustments. Yeah, and also just, again, from a logistical standpoint, Karl-Anthony Towns is starting, why would you put Adem Bona in that spot when your best rebounder, you're going up against the guy who is statistically second in the NBA in rebounding, in rebounds per game? Why not put your best rebounder off of Karl-Anthony Towns? See, if I was in the media, if I was in these press conferences, right, those are the types of questions that I would be asking, not these soft questions like, what do you think like went wrong tonight? You know, you can't speak in generalities. You got to be specific. Ask questions like, why didn't Andre Drummond start? Okay, how come on a lot of the possessions that you were giving up, you continue the double team and guys just aren't getting back rotating on their defenders? Why do they look a little bit slow? Why are you continuing the double team, even Jalen Brunson, when he only has 5 points in the game? Those are the types of questions that need to be asked. Did you have any thought putting in did you have any thought putting in Quentin Grimes in this game? Because I didn't see Quentin Grimes being out. Now, I could be wrong about that. But Quentin Grimes, I think, was oh, no, he was out. Okay. I didn't even see that on the injury report. But my point is that even with those factors, like just from a strategic, a schematic standpoint, those are the types of questions that need to be asked. By the way, there is 55 seconds still left in this fourth quarter. I know that you guys can see the score up top, but you still can't see the time, and I apologize. Beauchamp for a three, and that one is going to be airballed with 45 seconds left to go, and another turnover by Philadelphia. I don't know. Those are the types of questions that I asked. And also, why did you not take Tyrese Maxey out sooner? Some folks in Louisiana get that season, in quotes, high when eating those dang crawfish. It's about the seasoning. So I am told, never eat them, never will. 138-89. So that means that it's a 49-point lead for the New York Knicks. And if it stands like this, this will be the highest margin of victory that the New York Knicks have had against the Philadelphia 76ers since 1993. 10 seconds left to go. Knicks are just going to dribble this one out, and that is going to do it. The New York Knicks are now 35-20 on the season, and the 76ers end the first half before the All-Star break with a 30-24 record, the final score being 133-89. Sixers get blown out by 44 points against the Knicks. And by the way, that is their second largest victory that they've had. Nope, it isn't. What is it, 138-89? I don't know why the scoreboard was frozen. But yes, 138-89 is the final score, and that is the largest margin of victory that the Knicks have ever had against the Sixers. They won 151-106 back in 1970. That was the highest that they've had. But yes, so that's your final score. This was the perfect game to give a lot of minutes to Terry, to Bassie, to Baldwin, as only Beauchamp got a lot of minutes, says C. David. This is going to be an interesting post-game show. But before we even get to the post-game show, I do want to say again, thank you all so much for sticking this out with me and for being on here. This was an absolute disgrace of a performance tonight by the Philadelphia 76ers. And just what an embarrassment. I actually think that this was even worse than Portland. Some might argue with me and say that Portland was really was more worse. And I will tell you that Portland wasn't good, but you know, you're coming back home, you're going on into the All-Star break, and you would just think that you would have a little bit more energy going up against this New York Knicks team, who, by the way, lost a thriller of a basketball game to the Indiana Pacers in overtime. You just thought that there would be more juice, more pizzazz, and that was just not the case from the jump at all whatsoever. As soon as they fell behind the 8 ball, there was just no turning back in this game, and the 76ers absolutely laid an egg and got punched in the mouth at the same exact time. We'll break it all down. We'll talk more about it. We'll get on into X's and O's, and we will actually break down the performances tonight from Tyrese Maxey and the rest of the club. I will see you all in just a little bit, though. Please do not go anywhere. You can also call in into the show. We will be taking phone calls a little bit later during the post-game show, and we'll talk about what your thoughts were on the first half. But yeah, give me 5 minutes. 5 minutes is all I ask for. And then we'll be back for a little post-game show. I will see you then. Don't go anywhere. Do not change that channel.
graduated from Rowan University in the spring of 2022 with a sports communication and media degree. I got to actually call minor league baseball and G League basketball games while I was in school. And then I graduated, and as soon as I graduated, I went to NFL Films in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. And as much as I loved that experience, I miss putting on the headsets. I decided, you know what, talk is cheap. I have a laptop that's in my house, and so 21 months later, here we are, still on YouTube, calling games and building an incredible, loving community on here with the people that I call my Philly freaks with a capital P and a capital H. We go live for every single Phillies, Sixers, and Eagles game, and we do it like old school radio play-by-play style. I'm Jason Joseph, and this is Play-by-Play with JJ.
I showed a swung on barrel out to right field. Bye-bye baseball.
That baby is long gone.
Welcome on in to the Philadelphia 76ers postgame show here on Play-by-Play with JJ, where the Philadelphia 76ers, if you guys did not watch this game, boy, did you miss out. And by miss out, I mean this team got absolutely annihilated, so you really didn't miss much. And it was probably better that you didn't watch this game because they lost 138 to 89. That final score right over here, right on this box that I just moved, right there, is literally going to dictate how this game ended up going down. Jalen Brunson only had 8 points tonight, and his plus-minus tonight was at a plus 21. Let me say that again. Jalen Brunson, who's 9th in the NBA in points per game, had just 8 points tonight. And 8 points is his second lowest that he's had all season long. 8 points in 30 minutes. In 30 minutes, he had 8 points. And the Philadelphia 76ers lost by 49 to the New York Knicks. That is crazy. The 76ers in this game, we figured that Joel Embiid was probably not going to play tonight, regardless of whether or not you did think he was going to play or didn't play, okay? That's one thing. But my biggest takeaway from tonight is that Tyrese Maxey, you've been asking Tyrese Maxey to do so much for you throughout the season, and he needs a break. He needs a break. VJ needs a break, and nobody else just has an answer when you need them to step on up in place of Paul George and Joel Embiid. You don't have any other answer. And these two guys are giving it everything that they have. Now, VJ Edgecombe did not have a good game today, and I thought that this was arguably the worst game that he's had all season. And I'm not going to get too angry about it with VJ because I feel like as a rookie, this guy has been living up to a lot of expectations, and he has risen up in the brightest of lights. Tonight, though, he just got a lot more attention, and you figured that that was going to be the case without Joel and without PG, and he got a different look tonight. I think tonight was his welcome to the NBA moment. I do. And I'm hoping that he'll get stronger from this because he just could not get into any sort of a rhythm whatsoever. He had a couple of nice plays in the second half, but really, overall, it was a quiet game from VJ Edgecombe. He was 0 for 5 from downtown. Kelly Oubre was 0 for 6 from the field. And him and Edgecombe combined shot 10 threes, didn't make anything. The Sixers, the funny part is that Adem Bona had more points than Oubre. Bona had more points than Kelly did. It's just unacceptable. We only saw Dalen Terry for 7 minutes. We probably should have seen Dalen Terry play the entire fourth quarter. Same thing with Justin Edwards. Same thing with Charles Bassey. Your head coach puts you in a position, a very tough position, by putting Adem Bona into the starting lineup and not Andre Drummond. You got off on the wrong foot. You got off on the wrong foot tonight, and it was atrocious. Karl-Anthony Towns set the tone, and I did say, I will give myself credit here. I did say that if the 76ers did not start off on a positive note tonight, they were going to get beaten. And I actually specifically said, if you go back to the tape, I said that whoever gets hot to start off this game is going to win. And the New York Knicks felt very rejuvenized tonight. And they're without, and I don't want to hear it, because they were without Miles McBride. They were without OG Anunoby. Those are some of their big players. And they beat you by 49 points. Is that acceptable? Absolutely not. But Karl-Anthony Towns and the New York Knicks had a game plan tonight of using that pick and roll and whizzing on by everybody. The passes that they were making, you could see Karl-Anthony Towns just going with a behind-the-back bounce pass to Mikal Bridges in the dunker spot. Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't provide flashy plays, especially passes like that. He doesn't. He did that tonight, though, a couple of times. Brunson also on the open floor. There was a specific play where VJ Edgecombe took a tough two. It was great defense by Josh Hart. It was a step-back jumper. Brunson gets the rebound. There's an outlet pass to Mikal Bridges. And then who's cutting over to the basket with nobody watching them? That's Landry Shamet. And Landry Shamet just makes a reverse layup, and there's just nobody on them. Every single time that the New York Knicks got a rebound, they were going to speed up that tempo, and they were going to put you on your heels. And Nick Nurse, again, I know that part of it is also on the players too, but why? Just why do you continue to double team whoever has the ball on 70% of your possessions? Why does that continue to happen? Do you know how many times tonight that they double team Tyrese Maxey? Just Tyrese Maxey alone. They didn't double him that much. The Knicks' philosophy tonight was, sure, at the very beginning, we're going to try to slow down Tyrese Maxey. But we're also going to get our athletic defensive players on the perimeter, because we know that you're not going to have any sort of creativity with your offense. We know that you're not going to have a lot of off-ball movement. And what are you going to go to? A lot of dribble handoffs. a couple of screens, and just isolation basketball. The Knicks played like a unit. You played like you were at the YMCA. That's the game. That's the game right there. The first quarter, with them attacking on the pick and roll to Karl-Anthony Towns, was the game. That was it. I thought as soon as the 16-4 run started, and I'm not usually like this. I didn't want to say it in the moment, but I was thinking in the back of my head, as soon as it was a 16-4 start, I said game over. Because there's no way in heck that they're going to, stop Karl-Anthony Towns with the rate that he was going at. And you know what? If they want to try to get the ball out of Karl-Anthony Towns' hands, what's going to happen when you continue, again, to provide all this attention and you lure the defense onto the ball handler and you throw the kitchen sink at him? Somebody's going to get open for a three. Whether it's Jose Alvarado hitting just 8 of his 13 field goals. Whether it's Mohamed Diawara knocking down 3 of his first 5 threes off the bench. Diawara and Alvarado tonight off the bench were 12 for 21 from 3. The rest of the team was 8 for 23. Those 2 guys alone destroyed the 76ers. Robinson off the bench. He was an impact. 11 points, 6 rebounds for him, 4 blocks. And he's a great blocker, don't get me wrong. But when Cat came out there to set the tone for you, and you're getting eaten on the glass with Adembona, and you're getting bullied, and Karl-Anthony Towns is looking at Adembona like he is out for blood, you can't stop him. You put yourself in the wrong position automatically by not going with Andre Drummond as your starter. And that's the truth. But I kid you not. I didn't say this out loud, but I did say this in my head. And I'm not usually this guy because basketball is all about runs. I did say, though, that as soon as it was a 16-4 game, I said it was game over. Because the 76ers were not going to come back against this New York Knicks team. They were not prepared, even from the get-go. They were unprepared. Their roster just isn't as athletic as the Knicks are. And their head coach got blown out of his own gym against Mike Brown. Listen to this. The Sixers gave up 36 points in the first quarter, 36 points in the second quarter, 32 in the third, and 34 in the fourth. "36 in the first, 36 in the second, 32 in the third, and 34 in the fourth. And your offense couldn't even get 30 points once. In the second and in the third quarter combined, you actually had 37 points. The second and the fourth quarter. And they had 36 in one quarter. It took you 2 quarters combined to get 37. Tyrese Maxey tonight. Maxey was going to get a lot of attention. Not going to blame him. He had the weight on his shoulders tonight. Did he have the best game? No. But this is what happens when your teammates just cannot step up. Edgecombe only had 14. Barlow had 13. Bona had 6. Oubre had 2. How are you going to win? How do you think that you're going to win a game like that where Justin Edwards is playing 22 minutes and he only has 4 points, and meanwhile Trendon Watford's giving you 25 minutes and he's 3 for 10 from the field? You're not going to win. You're just not. Your roster's flawed. Your coaching staff stinks. And you were not ready. And I feel terrible for the fans that had to sit there to watch that game tonight. I know that some of them paid, that some of them still wanted to go knowing that they would probably get themselves into this. But you know what? They're showing love for this team. And the fact that they had to see a product like that is just an absolute nightmare. There's no Paul George. There's no Joel Embiid. If you're a season ticket holder, you got absolutely screwed tonight. You did. Mikal Bridges was also heating up as well. And he had a lot of big-time rebounds. And he had a lot of hockey assists tonight. He also had 6 regular assists, too. But that guy was just on a mission as well. It felt like that he had something to say because of what happened. And, of course, we'll never forget what happened on draft night. It felt like that he took that personally tonight. I think every time that he comes into Philadelphia, he feels like that he needs to take it up an extra level because he got traded on draft night for Zaire Smith. He took that personally. He wanted to be a 76er. He did. Whether he comes out and says it or not, I think he had a little bit of an extra edge to him tonight. You saw some chirping back and forth between Watford and also, who was it? Wasn't Landry Shamet. Wasn't Tyler Kolek. Who was it? Not Jordan Clarkson. Who was the other guy that he got into a little bit of a heated argument with? And they had double texts issued on both Watford and that guy. Was that Clarkson? I don't think it was. It wasn't Josh Hart. It's going to bug me. But the point is that they psychologically owned you tonight and embarrassed you. They pantsed you in your own arena. I don't care if Joel Embiid plays. I don't care if Paul George plays in this game. The coaching staff deserves a piece of the blame, but when you're getting blown out by 49, how can you not blame the rest of the players too? Because I'm watching Jose Alvarado just taking advantage of sloppy passes from VJ Edgecombe, and he wants to get that season high. He knows it. He knows that he needs one more field goal to do so. After he drained a 3 and then just gets that careless interception of a pass thrown by VJ Edgecombe, that's what tells me the whole game. That tells me who wanted it more, essentially. The 76ers could not box out at all tonight. Karl-Anthony Towns and Mitchell Robinson were having a heyday, getting an attack in the glass. And every time that they got open or that they were able to get rebounds, they probably made 75,000 threes that were, again, wide open. It's going to bug me who that, in that second quarter of the double tech. and I have to know. It was with like a minute left to go. I could probably look at chat. I'm sure somebody may have wrote it down. Where was it? It was Trendon Watford and somebody else. Watford and Shamit, maybe? Maybe it was Shamit. I guess not. They call it a double tech. Marjan Beauchamp? No. Okay. I think it was actually Michael Bridges. All right. With that, though, I will take your messages. And I'm going to ask Sixers Nation this. After this game, who are you more upset with? The players, Nick Nurse, or Daryl Morey in the front office? Who are you the most upset with tonight? If you were to pick one out of the three. Is it Daryl Morey in the front office? A. Is it the players, B? Or is it Nick Nurse and the coaching staff, C? And let me know why you feel that way. You can also come on into the show. You can call on into the show. And you can talk more about your thoughts. But this is unacceptable. Especially with how you played down to your opponent against the Portland Trail Blazers. No sense of urgency. You got embarrassed. You got obliterated. The Knicks came on in. They drove down I-95 with their fans. They took over your stadium. And all you had to show for it was 89 points, and you allowed 138. Is that what championship teams do? No. Now, am I telling you that they're not a championship team? That's another story. But if you are a contender, you cannot do that. You can't. Let's take some messages. Calling in 610-314-0844 is the phone number. Who do you blame more after tonight? Daryl Morey and the front office, the players, or Nick Nurse and the coaching staff? Would love to hear your thoughts. And we will get to your text messages. And, of course, call on into the show as well. We love the interaction with you guys. And I guess that we'll start things off with old man Ferguson. Sixers can't win without all your best players playing. How's that PG doing? Lol. Well, in case you didn't know, PG is suspended until the middle of March, so he's not even playing right now. I'm sorry if I sound a little bit sarcastic, but that's just because this game really just did not make me happy. And now we're going to talk about Paul George not playing. And look, I hear you. Paul George has not been playing up to par this year. But, I mean, like, just on this game itself, how can we can't be satisfied with this, you know? I don't know. I don't know, man. All right. We are going to be taking some phone calls. I am gonna take one phone call right now. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to get you up on the roadcaster. I don't know why it's not working. Okay, I think that I got you on. 267. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you loud and clear, my brother.
267. I'm gonna ask you this question. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
After tonight's game, who do you blame for why the seven? If you were to blame one of these three people, okay?
Yeah.
Who would it be after this type of game tonight? Is this on Daryl Morey? Number one. Number two is Nick Nurse. And number three is the players.
And I can only blame one.
And you can and you can rank them. You can rank them from 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. My first ranking is Nick Nurse. Because he's a horrible coach. He has to go. Okay? And until they fire him, the Sixers are going to go nowhere. Okay? The coach is responsible for how he uses the players that he does have.
That's correct.
And he's not using his players that he does have properly. And you made an excellent point when you said that he should have, first of all, started Andre Drummond and not Bona, because Andre Drummond would be much more suited to deal with the Knicks center, because he was having his way with Bona.
He was. Yeah.
And he's got tons of more experience than Bona. Bona should have been used to give Andre Drummond a breather. And, I don't even understand why Joel Embiid didn't play, first of all, because it wasn't back-to-back, and he didn't play the last game, but that's another day. So, first, I would blame Nick Nurse. Second, Daryl Morey and the management for the 76ers ought to be a gopher and go stick their head in the ground, or either go further and be an ostrich and stick their head even further down in the ground. Because, I didn't even realize the last game they played the guy that's glued to the bench and he never plays, the Villanova young man.
From the Portland Trailblazers. No,
he plays for the Sixers, but he's always
Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry.
Yes, thank you. Listen. He might be a shade taller than me, but I know I can get in there and play better than him. He's fat, he's out of shape, and he can't play no defense, and he don't even hit threes like he used to. They shouldn't have even traded the other guy that they traded. They should have kept the other guy and got rid of him, the other guard. At least he can hit some threes.
267. I don't want to cut you off, but I do have to say really quickly too. Isn't it funny how even with Quentin Grimes not available tonight, Kyle Lowry did not even sniff the floor.
Did not even sniff the floor, man. And he played 17 minutes in the last game when he shouldn't have played. Hey, look. Number one, Nick Nurse. He got to go, man. Look, I'm going to tell you, I love calling in. I love talking basketball with you. I love your professionalism and how you break down the game and everything. You on point, man. But look, I'm out on the Sixers, man. This is it for me. I'm not going to say I won't call in no more, because this is about my only pleasure and enjoyment with you. We're talking about the game. But Nick Nurse got to go, man. Seriously. He's worse than Doc Rivers. He's not. I used to say he's Doc Rivers 2.0. No, he's Doc Rivers 0.0. So I blame Nick Nurse first. Then I blame Daryl Morey and the manager. And then I blame the players, which the coach is responsible for how he's using them.
267. I always love hearing you. I just have to say, I'm I'm at the point now, like, where I'm actually at Daryl Morey now because he's not doing anything to take care of this of the way that they're being coached right now. Like, he's just okay with this mediocrity. So that's actually why I now have Daryl Morey above Nick Nurse, because I think that Daryl Morey and Josh Harris right now are at like the pinnacle of the problem. Because if they are okay with complacency, like none of this would have never flown by with John Middleton, and this would have never blown by with Howie Roseman. If Nick Sirianni was coaching this bad, like Nick Sirianni, and the Eagles have had some bad coaches, but Nick Sirianni would have been gone if Nick Sirianni was doing the job that Nick Nurse was. And same thing with the Phillies. I really feel that way.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. And the Sixers ought to be ashamed of the Joel Embiid that they've had thus far in this season. And he even cried out when he said, listen, don't do what you're going to do with that luxury tax like that. And they should have never got rid of that boy. They should not have traded him to the top team in the league for pennies.
Yep.
You want to tell me they couldn't have used him now? Yes.
Absolutely.
They need him.
Yeah.
So, man, look, you're right, man. Yeah, management is first. Nick Nurse is second, and the players is third. But I'm out, brother. I'm out on the Sixers, man. I can't. Look, the fans, man, I'm so glad I wasn't at that game. Because I'd have probably been throwing some beer cans or something at them.
My friend was there. I feel terrible for him. But no, thank you. Thank you for coming on. I always love hearing from you, man. I really do.
All right, my brother. We're at the All-Star break now, right?
Yes. And boy, we could probably use 8 days of rest against this team. I mean,
we could
gosh.
I think we could use 2 weeks of rest and then come back saying, breaking news. The Sixers have fired Nick Nurse. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day.
Yes.
All right, brother. Have a great night, man.
You too, man. Big shout out to you. Big shout out to you, man. I mean, that was a great call. And look, okay, just to his point, really, and look, I'm not usually one to say fire the head coach during the middle of the season. I'm really not that guy. I did say it last year for Rob Thompson, 2 years ago for Rob during the August terrible slump that they've had. But I'm not usually on that train during the middle of the season. It's been going on now for about 2.5 years with Nick Nurse, and I'm just done with it. The defensive schematics are putrid. Offensively, there's just no play calling. I'm even watching Kelly Oubre attacking and going to the basket, and he looks away, and he's looking to hand it off, and he has an open lane. And that, to me, is also on Kelly, but at the same time, it also just tells me that they're overthinking things. And the head coach, part of the job of the head coach too. And if you want to say if you want to say that that's on the player, like, fine. If you want to say that specific play is on Kelly, that's fine, and that's understandable. But we've seen a lot of times this year that the Sixers will still make that same type of mistake, and the head coach's job is to rally the troops together, to get them all on the same page, and to get them feeling like that they can play in sync and that they can get their head back in the game. When I'm watching other teams call timeouts, Mike Brown tonight, the Sixers went on a 10-2 run. Timeout. Nick Nurse, he did call a timeout when they went on the 16-4 run, the New York Knicks, but probably should have called the timeout when it was an 8-2 run. Because that is not how you start off a game. He doesn't know when to call timeouts. He doesn't know how to make substitutions. He doesn't press the right buttons. And the players, they're not going to say it right now. How many people have actually said that they love playing for Nick Nurse? You hear it with Nick Sirianni, Jason Kelsey, and Jalen Hurts. Like they all say that they love playing for Nick Sirianni. The Philadelphia Phillies, whether you like it or not, the players still defend Rob Thompson. But how many of these players love to play, have actually come out to say that they love playing for Nick Nurse? Just another point. 610-314-0844. That's how you call on into the show. Marianne, I was at the game. I left at halftime. And Marianne, I'm not usually the one to leave at halftime or to leave early, but you just knew. I mean, tonight was just one of those nights where you if you go to the game a lot of the time, why are you going to put yourself through that? Why? That's not fair to you. It's not fair to you. There probably was even more traffic at halftime than there was by the end of that game. But then actually, to be fair, because the Knicks definitely had a good crowd there too, maybe I'm wrong. So, I don't know. VJ hit that wall. It was a horrible, horrible game. It was terrible, man. Old Man Ferguson says we're not going to win. The Sixers are an average to below average team, says Old Man Ferguson. On nights like tonight, they clearly just show you that they... I mean, this is one of those nights like where they just showed you that they are just that inconsistent. They are that untrustable right now. They're not to be trusted. They're not playing good basketball at all. You watched tonight a professional basketball team against what looked like, and I think I'm saying this fairly here, and I have every right to criticize the team, but the Sixers looked like that they were playing basketball at the YMCA. That's the truth. It was just Tyrese Maxey and then a bunch of people that were just playing pickup basketball. That's what it looked like. Knicks seem to have their number, says Doug. The players, always the players. Bona is getting minutes because getting him ready for our championship run, says Old Man Ferguson. Yeah. It is crazy. You don't have Quentin Grimes tonight. You don't have Joel Embiid. And you don't have PG. And your head coach is just like, you know what? Like, why not put our best rebounder out there against a guy who is statistically the second best rebounder in the league? That was a genius move. Genius. Shanti says, great call. But hey, again, and I hate to do this, but this is really the truth. Like, the New York Knicks came out with a game plan tonight, and all they needed to do was just get that pick and roll started. The Philadelphia 76ers were not going to stop the pick and roll. They were so late. They looked like that they were just out of gas from the get-go. All they had to do was just take care of business in that first quarter, and it was just game over. As a Knicks fan, says Freeway Hustler. What's going on, Freeway? How you doing, man? As a Knicks fan, much respect for having the chat open. Other Sixers channels are scared to death of the chat I know the Sixers are better than tonight's performance. Hey, man. The New York Knicks have every single right. The Knicks fans have every single right to come on into these chats here. They have every single right to come on into these chats here, unless you know they're being absolutely like erratic. Like I don't accept that. But you have every right to just bug it on in. You just do, as long as you keep it clean. The New York Knicks outplayed the 76ers. So. He also says that the good thing is that you guys have a wide open window with Maxey and VJ. Those guys are studs, says Freeway. Yeah, man, they're hitting a wall right now. And I actually feel like that, again, VJ had his welcome to the league type of a moment tonight because look at the defense that he had to deal with. Okay, Joel Embiid's not playing. Paul George is not playing. You also don't have Quentin Grimes out there. Plus, you're getting a lot of minutes to begin with, so now you're going to get more attention to you, right? That's just what happens when some of your top guys are not playing. So you're going to have to get better at that. And I think he will. I do. But he's just not in rhythm at all. But again, I tip my cap to the Knicks. I hate doing that. I don't like the Knicks. As a Sixers fan, I do not like the Knicks, but I respect greatness. And again, the funny part is that Jalen Brunson only had 8 points tonight, and yet they still beat you by 49. I don't know. The defense was terrible. They couldn't shoot. They couldn't rebound. They got out-assisted, Shante. That's the other thing, too. A lot of turnovers by the 76ers as well. Nothing else for me to say. Nothing. I got nothing else. But you guys are the best, man. You guys are the absolute best. I love you guys. And with that, I'm going to wrap it up, okay? Last time streaming on the laptop officially here at home. The PC, the new desktop, man, I'm so excited. I'm like 77% done with setting it on up. Still have a couple more things I got to do. I got to make sure I import all the sounds from my soundboard on here. That's going to run a lot smoother on the desktop. I'm so excited, and I cannot wait to start streaming on that next week and for baseball season. So, it's been a fun ride with the laptop. It really has. And again, we're still going to use it. I mean, I'm still going to have it in the background. I'm actually going to be using it for stats, and it's going to give me another extra screen. And then I'll stream when I have to be remote. So, but anyhow, I love you guys. Lila Tov, have a great rest of your night. I'll catch you all soon. All right? I'll see you on the next one. Good night. And see you soon.